the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of manager.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Oh, boy. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, Seattle Sports app, all the podcast platforms, 97.3 HD2, and YouTube. All of us. That's all the places you can. I think there's more probably, but that's all I can come up with this morning. Do we need more? What a game last night. What a baseball game last night. I know I get grief at times when I say that's baseball or it's a crazy game, but just because things are going in one direction doesn't mean they're going to continue in that direction. But it is true. This game is weird, man. This game is unpredictable. This game will take twists and turns that you probably never expected it to take. And yesterday was about as good an example as you're going to find. I mean, yesterday was probably the most negative day I can remember on this radio station in years. I mean, I don't think there was even last year getting swept in Tampa. I don't know whether, Jeff Passan comes on the radio and says you should fire the manager. That's a pretty intense day. And, I heard Bumpin' Stacy and then Wyman and Bob playing all the sound and reacting and talking about it all. This person's a problem and that person's a problem and this is an issue and that is an issue. And it was all real. It's not like none of it was real. But by the end of the night, the whole vibe is just totally different. Does it mean it's going to continue tonight? No, of course not. Who the hell knows what's going to happen tonight? But again, these are the days that you can kind of circle if it turns around, this is the day. And right now, it all belongs to Dom Canzone. Mariners are 2-3 on this road trip. Without Dom Canzone, they'd be 0-5. Let's just be clear. This is an 0-for road trip without Dom Canzone. But with him, they're 2-3. With an opportunity still to win the road trip. Go 4-3. Take a couple more in L.A. Is it going to be easy? No. But you've at least set yourself up for it. So I thought it'd be fun today to have a different version of
Late Night Mariners texts.
Oh, yeah. Well, they are a little less spicy. A little more smooth jazz than you might expect.
Was there it seems like there might have been a little bit of a roller coaster. Do we get some spicy ones that recovered?
There were a couple, but not many, honestly. Okay. There's a couple of I hate you, Luis Castillo texts, but other than that, no. I got this one, Ref Snyder, with about 1,000 exclamation points. I honestly hope his 10-day IL stint was a reset and he crushes enough left-handers to take the Mariners to the division title. It's funny. Dom Canzone is the story from last night with his 2 home runs, both of which came off of lefties, and the power he has is ridiculous. But was it were they the most important? Yeah, they were the most important. But what was second? Was it Ref Snyder coming up with a home run and showing that he is at least capable of being the guy that they signed him to be in the offseason? I don't know if it'll continue, but honestly, the double that came after the home run might have been just as important because it showed that the home run wasn't fluky. Okay, good. He had 2 of those. That's great news.
Was it if not for Canzone Sunday and yesterday, things could
Canzone's
could
one.
be looking at. Yeah. But also, if Ref Snyder is actually going to be what they thought he was, now that maybe he's had some time to rest those knees and is feeling better, that could be a big deal. Development.
Absolutely. He's been a good hitter. And I know people get mad when I say he's crushed lefties in the past. Well, but he's not now. Okay, but he has. And so the likelihood is that he probably will again. Was it Cal's home run? Because Cal is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Was it Julio's home run? And the fact that Julio maybe is starting to heat up? I'll tell you what I liked. One of my favorite parts of last night's game was Julio's steal right before the Canzone home run. Putting the pressure on the pitcher, easy steal of second base, right? You're down at that point. You're trying to, you're just trying to get this team going. And Julio using all of the gifts that he has. Yeah, all right, I come up with a hit, so what do I do next? Steal second. Put pressure on the pitcher. And then Canzone obviously goes yard, so the steal doesn't end up meaning as much. But look, all of those things end up being really relevant. Dom just hit the deuce as another. I hope we hang on to win this game. This is the most fun I've had this whole season. What a blast. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It's fun when your team hits home runs. Yeah. I am pro home run. I am pro power. I am pro take your walks and then smash the ball out of the ballpark, especially on a warm night in LA when the ball was flying. I'm very much pro home run. Yes, they are fun. I would like to personally thank Jeff Passan for this win. The wet blanket can be this year's Etsy witch. He probably will be. Baseball's weird.
He does have a knack for coming on our show and then having kind of
it's amazing.
Like the opposite of whatever he dives into happens.
Jeff and I think I have the same problem. Like it just whatever you say, like, yeah, man, that goes the other way. He did text me about Canzone last night. He's like, didn't I say Canzone should hit more against lefties? I'm like, well, you did, but like that's already been happening for the last month. He was like, oh.
We do have that crowd now that are like, think what could happen if they were hitting him against lefties the whole time.
Yeah, and they might be right. Dom Canzone has shown it. But look, you got to prove that in baseball, and it's taken him some time to do it, and good on him. And I hope that, I do have some texts in here that are like, this shows that platooning is dumb. Like, well, no, it doesn't. It shows that Dom Canzone has shown that he can hit left-handed pitching. It didn't show that Luke Raley can hit left-handed pitching. He can't. That doesn't mean Luke won't one day get a hold of a lefty and hit a home run. He probably will. But the odds are that you're going to be a whole lot better off playing somebody else. And by the way, Rob Refsnyder hitting left-handed pitching is part of the reason that you've had those platoons, because he's good at it and always has been. Late Night Mariners text, LFG. Yeah, that one's good. Late Night Mariners text, I refuse to believe. You can't have my jaded heart, Ems. I won't. Never mind. Hurt me one more time. Yeah, I get it. This game was just bound to happen after today's show, right? Lefty starter, best team in baseball, Canzone, Refsnyder, Slugfest, bullpen. Feels like a huge win, but only time will tell. In the meantime, thanks a lot, Jeff Passan. I know. It really is amazing. And look, all the stuff Jeff said yesterday is still very interesting, maybe important, and quite frankly, I think still worth a lot of conversation. And we'll go through some of that at 7:30 this morning. But it's okay to do both. It's okay to have the conversation about where this team is at and where they're going and what they need to do to get there. And it's okay to talk about what they're capable of at the same time. Because this is it. I mean, you see yesterday why they are fearsome. The bullpen is really good, and it comes in again. Look, that Dodgers lineup is absurd. Did they give up a bunch of runs yesterday? Yeah, they gave up some runs, and Munoz gave up one more and made it real tight late. And Dan made a decision, a difficult decision, right, to walk Muncy in the ninth. And eventually, as he easily walks in a second, you end up with a game with the winning run on second base, facing Mookie Betts, like multiple-time MVP winner. He's not having a great year. So Dan kind of employed a similar strategy to what Terry Francona did a week ago, and it worked out better for him, which was great. If Munoz gives up a hit to Mookie Betts, we're having a very different conversation today. So look, that's the fine edge, the fine line that you walk when you play the game, when you watch this game. Salk, I'm worried about bullpen depth. We used all of our leverage arms last night. Tonight should be interesting. Yeah, it becomes harder tonight, and you got to rely even more on Emerson Hancock, who may be auditioning for a new team. Who's closing tomorrow? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But again, like, this game is so weird. Maybe you go out and score 12 runs early. You don't need to have a closer. It'd be Cole Wilcox to finish it out or whatever. Salk, the platoon strategy must come to an end. Nope. No, and it won't. Platoons are about getting the best out of players. That's all. It's just about playing the odds and getting the best out of players. But Dom Canzone has shown that he can hit lefties. Good on him. That's awesome. And I want to see more of it. All right, coming up next, we'll give you guys everything you need to know. I'll play you the at least one, maybe both of those Canzone home runs. I don't know. We have to get that scary picture of Brock off of YouTube. Dear God. He's cackling at me.
I know. We're not streaming to YouTube, so I'm trying to,
to
figure some things out.
Thank God nobody could see that picture. It looks like Brock was like out of The Shining or something. We'll be back with everything you need to know next.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Second-year guard, Gray Zabel. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning to you as well.
What will you notice from your position about the new offense?
Brian's came in and done an absolutely unbelievable job. He wants to build on what we already have, but put a new kind of little wrinkle to what he knows about football. And I think we're going to run the ball first, which I'm super excited about.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CASH to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CASH to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CASH to borrow up to $10,000.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves. erased in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Oh, what a difference a day makes. Left for dead on their way out of Texas. The Mariners rallied once again for what might have been their most thrilling, maybe their most important win of the year for the second time on the trip. It was the hero, Dom Canzone.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, cranked, center field. It's hammered. It's on its way. It is sail away. Dom Canzone, dead center field. We are tied again. Home run derby for the Mariners. Their fourth of the night. 5-5 Mariners and Dodgers.
Was that their last home run of the night? No, I think maybe they'd want one more.
Here comes the pitch. Swung on, hit high, deep center field. Has he done it again? Warning track wall, sail away, Dom Canzone. He has done it again. His second home run of the night, and the Mariners have the lead 7-5.
They would need every ounce of that in the ninth, as Andres Munoz certainly made it interesting. Yeah, gave up a run, had runners on second and third facing Mookie Betts, but he got him to ground out, and that was it. 5 home runs. Cal, Julio, Ref Snyder. Yes, the 2 from Dom Canzone. It overcame a tough start from Luis Castillo, scary 9th inning. And they go on to get an absolutely enormous win. Dan Wilson happy with the offense.
Offensively, a lot of great things today. 5 homers, chance to drive the ball out of the ballpark here. Ref coming back and getting one off the foul pole. Julio, Cal, Dom with the 2. Just huge lifts in those moments, and that was a great win tonight. One to build on, and come back tomorrow and do it again.
Well, they do need to try to come back and do it again. Obviously, that is important. It'll be Emerson Hancock against another lefty, Eric Lauer. But, the way things shake out for the Mariners, and this is so funky, and maybe it'll have no effect when it's all said and done because this team is so weird. Wroblewski was really the only great starting pitcher they were going to face in the series. I mean, it's Lauer tonight, who's been okay, and then tomorrow, Roki Sasaki, who's been okay. That was the tough matchup. Castillo against Wroblewski. You find a way to get that win. Are they going to sweep the Dodgers? I don't know. But pitching matchup-wise, I like the next 2 matchups a lot more than I liked last night. Doesn't anything matter in this game? Who the hell knows? It's so confusing. But great win for the M's last night.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
It wasn't the only good news. Brendan Donovan, who had really been struggling in his rehab starts, got back into a game last night in Tacoma and had himself a night. 2 for 5. He did this.
3-1 is clubbed in the air. Deep right field. That ball is way back. It is out of here. Brendan Donovan leaves the yard.
Yeah, he needed that to just get himself going because Look, if you add a good Rob Refsnyder and a healthy Brendan Donovan back into the lineup, does it change things? Yeah, of course it does. It means that Colt Emerson doesn't have to play every single day. It means that you get more, pop with Refsnyder. It means you've got that doubles power, gap to gap with Brendan Donovan. It's a totally different team. Really amazing. And by the way, Michael Arroyo could be coming up soon also. Adam Jude saying yesterday that is a possibility almost regardless of what happens with Brendan Donovan. So a lot of changes could still be coming. And you've got the trade deadline now just, 5 days away. And Joel Sherman, MLB Network, says the Mariners, they're a team to watch.
I think it can make a pretty good case, Greg, that the executive under the most pressure over the next 5 or 6 days is Jerry Dipoto of the Mariners, and Justin Hollander, his aide. The Mariners are the only of the 30 teams that have never even been in a World Series. Last year was as close as they ever got, getting to Game 7 of the ALCS. They came into this year believing, and rightfully so, that they should be the dominant team in the division. And if I had told you nothing else, Greg, that we would reach the trade deadline and the other teams in the division would be, the best of them would be middling around 500, we'd think the Mariners have 6, 7, 8, 9 game lead.
Well, they don't, but still an opportunity to try to build one. And maybe last night as a jumping off point, we'll see.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, Seahawks off today. They finished up the quote-unquote ramp-up period. They'll start practicing with the pads on tomorrow morning, which is awesome. Speaking of awesome, I love this from Leonard Williams yesterday. I didn't even know this was a conversation, but he was asked, hey, any chance on a new contract here in Seattle?
I mean, there's been a few conversations, but nothing set in stone. I think we're all focused on, the season starting right now. And, we know that that's towards the end of the season. We have time to figure that out when the time comes.
I'm fascinated to see how that works. And honestly, if it is something you can get done early, I think you should, because at the end of this season, Byron Murphy is going to be the guy that everybody's looking at. So right now, you got to get Witherspoon done. That probably gets done in the next couple of weeks, maybe even the next few days. At the end of the year, heading into next season, Byron Murphy is going to be the one you circle and say, okay, you got to get this done. So how do you fit Leonard Williams in the meantime? Well, you have to. Because, look, again, it's also going to be Sam Darnold next year. The conversations next year are Byron Murphy and Sam Darnold. I don't want to add Leonard Williams to that if I can help it. And I don't know whether you can pay Leonard at the absolute top of the market and pay Byron Murphy what you're going to have to pay him next year and pay Sam Darnold what you might need to pay him next year. So if you can get him done on a reasonable deal, knowing he's in his 30s, that would be a really, really, really big deal. By the way, sounds like Jalen Milroe had himself a good day yesterday. Love to hear that. I don't know what his future is. I'm not sitting here saying he should be starting or anything, but I do root for him. I hope he works out because I just think he's a fun player. Bummer to see Eddie Olczyk is not going to be doing any more color commentary for the Kraken. He is one of the best of all time. His pairing with John Forsland has been probably the best thing about the team thus far. And it sounds like he's just going to go back to just national stuff at this stage in his career. Totally get it, but he will be missed. Eddie's been just awesome. All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. A lot of mixed emotions today. And, we've seen these Mariner games before. It's not like this one necessarily means everything now is going to be fine. We've seen them come out and hit 4 home runs, whatever, and, score 8 runs. And, the next day it kind of goes right back to the same inconsistent offense and some of the same challenges they've had. But it sure was nice on a day where they really needed it to see him put it all together. And I'll admit, I said a bunch of times yesterday as Jeff Passan was talking about, what to do with the manager and whether or not it calls on this is a time that calls for them to make a move, that the team, if they do love him, the players, have an opportunity to save him. Like, if they're really in that mode of we might need to be having a conversation about the manager here, guess who has the opportunity to change it? The players. If they love the manager and he can pull any strings he's got, go out and save it and show that you love him. And I thought last night was a pretty interesting example that might point to that. Not enough, not one game, but it absolutely was a really, really good opportunity to see what that looks like. So you got to hear Jeff Passan. If you missed any of this yesterday, he was opinionated, very much so. Said things that I think some people might have been expecting. I wasn't expecting to hear him from Jeff. Stick around. You'll hear him next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob, 2 to 7.
Seahawks out here, Hard Knocks film crew is out here. You kind of have to look for them. They did take up the whole gravel parking lot out there with all their trailers.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but I think Mike McDonald, this is right up his
free spot in your home's lineup, adding HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. That's Fast Home Services. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Rich Eisen here with some advice. If high-interest credit card debt is grinding you down, it might be time to call an audible with a SoFi personal loan. It consolidates your debt into one low monthly payment with no fees required. And with as soon as the same-day funding, you can make the right play fast. Call an audible on your debt today at SoFi.com/debtplay. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debtplay.
Kenny here to help you get in on the sweet life with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy. It's that classic throwback cotton candy flavor, but with zero sugar and a 5-hour energy boost. I keep these with me so I can tackle that sweet tooth with a tasty caffeine kick and no guilty sugary aftermath. Bring on the sweetness with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from Big Wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. J.P. Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Shut up, Salk. It's Brock and Salk's weekly chat with ESPN senior baseball writer Jeff Passan.
Man, when you have a talent like him.
Brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers.
I see this being the beginning of the best run in the history of this franchise.
On Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Man, a really important day to have Jeff Passan with us. Good morning, Jeff. It's been a bit of a slog here, Jeffrey, for a while. We were talking a week ago, and I think we all concurred when you said now's the time to go for it, and the American League is weak, and the Mariners have opportunities. As we sit here a week later, they did not play good baseball. They just lost 3 out of 4 to Texas, and were very nearly swept out of Arlington. What is happening with our Mariners here right now?
Yeah, all of these things are true, and it's incredible how I can say what I said a week ago, watch this team play, and come away with a completely different perspective. Because let's just say we were to completely Men in Black brain zap everybody and show them a game played by the Seattle Mariners. Looking at them, you would say this is like a 75-win team. They just look absolutely terrible right now. And I think the most frustrating part is that I always say this. I've said this on the show a million times. Talent wins, talent wins, talent wins. Get as much talent as you can, and you're going to be just fine. We are approaching the 2/3 mark of this season, guys. It's going to happen tonight. The 108th game will be played. And the Seattle Mariners are going to be under 500 with essentially a neutral run differential. And how they wound up here, to me, speaks to something a little bit deeper. And sometimes you reach a point with a group of players where things need, like, you got to change it up. You got to change up the mix in there. And I almost wonder if it's a matter of changing up the mix, because I'm not sure that they're going to change up the thing that they really should, which is the manager.
So when that talent / potential doesn't produce in baseball, I have got a pretty keen sense for what it means in football. But when talent and potential doesn't produce in baseball, what's the fix?
The fix is change. And I don't know what that change looks like. I don't know how profound that change needs to be.
Assistant hitting coach? Assistant to the assistant hitting coach? Is that the first step in change that they made the other day?
Sure. It could be a start. I say all of this, by the way, with the acknowledgement up front that because I'm not there every day, because I don't have as good of a grasp of the dynamics of the clubhouse as Ryan Divish or Adam Jude, I don't know if I have the full prescription, frankly. But I'm just looking like 30,000 foot here. My job, it necessitates that I know a good bit about every team, but maybe not quite to the same level as people who are around every day. But even from afar, guys, you can see what's going on right now. It's not working. And that's where you run into something particularly difficult, because the Mariners, not just the Mariners, but franchises outside and the models of the other 29 teams and observers, we all thought the Mariners were going to be really good this year. So I think in order to prescribe changes, it needs to come internally, and there needs to be a reckoning of some sorts within the franchise where they say what we've got right now isn't working. How do we fix or find what might? And it might not just be adding. There might be some subtraction that has to go on as well, and it might get kind of uncomfortable. And that's where you get to the point where you're like, okay, where do we make those changes? Who could go that might not be on our radar otherwise?
So that kind of takes us down a couple of roads, right? One is the trade deadline. Maybe they are not the straight buyers that we thought or hoped they would be.
Correct.
We've talked about the idea of Randy Arozarena or someone along those lines sort of playing a role not unlike Nomar Garciaparra in 2004, where like just like, hey, this mix isn't right. Even though this guy's one of our better players, it's time to move on. I don't know if that's Randy, but is that the type of thing you're talking about?
That is the type of thing I'm talking about, and I don't think that the Mariners would be crazy by any means to explore moving Randy Arozarena. It's one of those situations, guys, where if you're the Mariners, you're just like, God, why isn't this guy an infielder? It would be so much easier to move off of positions of strength. And maybe you can argue that outfield isn't nearly the weakness that people think it might be. The Mariners have already two of the best right-handed hitting outfielders in baseball. You could argue that Julio Rodriguez and Randy Arozarena are two of the top five, frankly. So the desire to go and get that third right-handed hitting outfielder, maybe you can do that and trade Randy and then give Luke Raley and Don Canzone full-time at-bats even against left-handers. I know that's a perilous thing, and part of the reason for Canzone and Raley's success this year is because of the way that the Mariners have deployed them. They've done a good job of that, generally speaking. But when you see an offense like this is the hard part. When you see an offense that has struggled as much as the Mariners have, I think 37 runs in 10 games since the break, whereas the Washington Nationals, who admittedly have the best offense in baseball this season, but just for context and perspective, they've scored 70 in their 10 games. How do you trade the guy who's been your best offensive player this year? That's a hard thing to do. And logically, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but he's not coming back. I would be willing to bet that Randy Arozarena will not be a Mariner next year. And so maybe you can get some value out of this, and maybe that's the thing that changes what you need, because I don't get the sense that the manager is a possibility at this point. We've seen managerial changes in late seasons work. We've seen it work in Seattle. So why this is off the table, I don't quite get.
But your impression is it is off the table.
I have not gotten any sense that it is a realistic possibility that Dan Wilson is fired at this point. Yes.
Can you help with this one? And Jeffrey Passan with us, as he is every Tuesday. And while our proximity leads to a lot of passion and emotion as we watch every swing and miss and every struggle and everything else, and equally celebrate the highs on the other end of that, your global picture does help, I think, in a question like this. Compare and contrast the Philly situation, the Boston situation. They both made managerial moves earlier this year. Compare and contrast their situations with what's going on in Seattle right now.
I think it's very simple. If Dan Wilson weren't one of the best players in franchise history, he would not be manager anymore. I think it's simple as that. There's politics that are going on here, and it's always like when you hire somebody like him, it's the same. I think the comparable is Buster Posey as president of baseball operations with the Giants. If things don't go right, it's going to be harder to get rid of that person to whom the franchise owes a debt because of his service in the past. And Dan Wilson was a great player for the Seattle Mariners and was part of the best run that the organization has ever seen, and an integral part of that. And so because of that, I think there's there's some gratitude there that the people running the Mariners don't feel like they want to do somebody wrong who's done so right by the franchise. But are you wasting a year potentially by doing so? Are you looking at an opportunity to change things up and salvage them? Which, by the way, let's not act like the Mariners are out of it by any means. I still think they have a very real opportunity to win the American League West. They just need to play completely differently than they have for the entire season so far. And how do you get that out of guys? Sometimes the manager is the answer.
I want to ask you about that part of it as well. Hearing you say what you just said is really hard. It's really hard to hear as a Mariner fan, as somebody that wants the team to win. Assuming that what you just said is accurate, that, if Dan weren't a part of the team's history, that maybe we'd be in a different situation here. That's not acceptable. I mean, like, as a fan of a team, that is really the last thing you want to hear. What does that look like? Since you mentioned San Francisco, what does that look like for the Giants and that franchise?
I mean, they are where they are right now. Like, they're one of the 5 worst teams in baseball. They're trying to sell, but the pieces that they've got beyond Luis Arraez and Robbie Ray and maybe Elliot Ramos and a couple of relievers, like, there's just not a whole lot there. They can't move Rafael Devers. They're going to have a hard time moving Willie Adames and Matt Chapman. It's bad. It's not even close in Seattle to what's going on in San Francisco right now. The Giants might be bad for a while. I still think, every week I come on here and we have that dramatic drop at the end. I think this is going to be the best run in the history of the Seattle Mariners franchise. I still do believe that. And I believe it because teams are calling the Mariners and they want to talk about Cade Anderson and they want to talk about Ryan Sloan and they want to talk about Las Montez and this group that's going to be coming, and all of them aren't going to be good. That's an unreasonable expectation, but there are going to be some stars that join this team over the next 2 years. Like multiple.
So let me ask the follow-up, Jeff, on Dan, because it comes back to what you said. All right, if they're not going to make a change and you believe that the season is salvageable, and I agree with you 100%, what can Dan do? What can the coaching staff of this team do between now and the end of the year to make a difference and solve this problem?
I'll say this. I don't know specifically what they have done that they could necessarily change to have like that direct impact. What I will say is when you do something 107 times and you're succeeding, only 48 or 49% of the time, when all of the objective measures out there suggest you should be succeeding 51 or 52 or higher, you need to ask yourself, what are we doing? And does this work? Or could this be contributing to the issue? And what specifically do I need to change? It needs to be curiosity about how you can go get the best out of these guys. And I wish I had an answer for you guys. I wish I had a blanket answer that would make Cal Raleigh start hitting and that would keep home runs in the ballpark and, make a lot of these starting pitchers who have been giving them up look like we expect them to. So I would love it if there was like a blanket answer. I don't know that there is. I think when you have 26 guys in a clubhouse, quite often there are 26 answers, and it just needs to be like you need to be dialed into where everybody's at and figure out, even if I've lost this clubhouse, or even if this clubhouse, maybe doesn't look at me the same way that the Rays do Kevin Cash or that the Reds do Terry Francona. I still need to try and do my very best, and the Mariners franchise this year has not done its best.
I didn't text you this homework ahead of time, but you're savvy enough to answer it. And I think it helps frame your comment there at the end of every open of the show of they're poised to go on the best run in franchise history, Jeff, because that's what everybody felt when we were in Peoria. That's what every talking head across the sport felt. That's what every power ranking felt was, this was go time. So as we sit here 100 and some games into the year, how many organizations would trade in totality, the whole organization, their farm system, their major league product, and everything, how many of them would trade their situation for the Mariners situation?
More than 25.
And therein's the problem, right? Therein is exactly what you're talking about, the potential and the talent not living up to it. In your farm system and in your rankings and in your young people and your controllable assets and your pitching and your talent.
Top 5 in baseball.
You're top 5 in baseball.
Yes. I think if we're just starting from scratch on the 180 players that you've got in your organization domestically, I think the Dodgers are in a better position. I think the Brewers are in a better position. And beyond that, you can make an argument with the Mariners to be next. The Rays are going to be somewhere in there because really good big league team right now, excellent farm system. You could argue that the White Sox, actually, because of the young talent that they've got, are going to be in the mix there. Atlanta's always good, really good big league team and improved farm system. Philadelphia, maybe the Cubs, maybe the Pirates, just because of Griffin and Skeens and the offense that they have right now. Beyond that, it's the M's. And I think if I actually were doing this, I think I'd probably have them third. I'd probably go Dodgers, Brewers, Mariners.
Okay. Jeff, there's a lot to digest there. I got to be honest. I mean, like I'm not like any of this is necessarily shocking. I think, Mariner fans, you're a lot of people listening to you right now are kind of nodding along. I mean, like, that makes sense.
And that's what this all comes down to in the end. I actually think for the most part, the front office has done the right job in assembling this team. I still look at this team and ask myself, how in God's name are they not absolutely running away with this division? And, when you ask yourself that question, you go and check off different areas to wonder, okay, so is it a very specific weakness that they have that could be solved? I mean, there's some weaknesses here and there, but every team is going to have weaknesses. What is it? Well, like if you check off all the player boxes, what does it come down to? And then the one thing is, okay, who's motivating them? Who day after day is the one that's in there and whose job it is to get the best out of the talent that you have assembled. And this is nothing personal with Dan Wilson. The record just speaks for itself. That's all.
So just to follow up there, is this when you say that, is it about in-game decision making? Is it about clubhouse chemistry? Is it have they quit on the manager? Is it just, hey, someone's got to pay and it can't be Bobby Magianis? Like what is where do you get it from? Where does it come? Where does it stem from most?
I think it's a combination of most of those things. There was one in there in the middle that I didn't agree with, but I'm old and forgetful now. And so I think
lost the clubhouse?
Yes,
right.
Correct.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I don't see any evidence he's lost the clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I think players, frankly, looked at Scott's service in a worse one than they do Dan Wilson. Mm-hmm. But what are you doing as manager to make this team better? Where are the value adds that you're bringing? And I'd be curious what Dan Wilson would answer.
Well, what do other managers bring? Just you mentioned someone like Terry Francona or Kevin Cash, or we just watched Skip Schumacher for the last couple of days here. What do those managers bring that are value added to the club?
I think, okay, so in Tito's case, I think because he has managed for decades, the experience and the understanding of game flow and decision making, I think the in-game decision making there is comparatively elite. With Kevin Cash, I think it is the way that every player with the Rays not only understands that he has a very specific and necessary role, but comes to accept those roles and understands where he stands with the team. The communication of Kevin Cash is elite. And because of that, the relationships build stronger. And it's nice when you walk into work. This goes for the two of you, me, every single person listening. It's nice when you walk into work, look at your boss, and say, not only is this person hyper competent, but he or she has my best interests in mind. I think that's a big part of the Rays' success, that everybody feels, the players especially, feel like there's an investment in them, and in that they are seen not as a part of this whole unit necessarily, but that the team is looking out for them individually as well, which is a rare thing for baseball players to feel. With Skip Schumacher, I think that because he has played more recently and because he's been in front office roles where there have been decisions that have been made that have not entirely come through him, but certainly he's been a big part in making those decisions. He's invested in knowing the modern game and understanding how it works, and that manifests itself both inside the clubhouse as well as in the in-game decision making. So I think it's a whole suite of things that managers need to do these days. And Dan Wilson, when he took over, was put in a very difficult position. He didn't have any experience doing any of these things, particularly at the major league level. And so the learning curve can take a little while, but what progress has there been? What growth has been seen? And most of all, like, how has that manifested itself positively on the Mariners in terms of their one-loss record?
So what does Mike McDonald like to say about football in the game? Like, the game speaks to you or the game unfolds. Mike likes to kind of say that. In that same framework, Jeff, what is this team saying to the front office they need to do, should do over the next 6 days?
I think what this team is saying is that the desire to go out and buy aggressively might not be warranted. And look, as much of the record as we're putting on Dan Wilson, that's not fair entirely. Ultimately, this is about the players. Like, they need to be the ones who step up and who make changes too. And it's the coaching staff's job to help facilitate that. But ultimately, this is a game about the players. And the most troublesome part of all of this is when you look at the lineup, when you look at the rotation, when you look at the bullpen, you ask yourself, where could we actually meaningfully upgrade or change things that would have a demonstrable difference? And there really aren't great answers. I think one of the reasons that the Mariners have been connected as strongly as they have to Mason Miller is because every team needs another bullpen arm, right? It's when you go position by position, though, that it doesn't seem like there are a whole lot of real substantive upgrades out there for the Mariners to go and pursue.
It's a pretty talented team, and it's been very disappointing, there's no doubt, to watch them struggle the way they have this year. Brock doesn't like the word talent, but we've been using it. What was the word you liked better, Brock?
I like potential.
Not living up to their potential, not living up to their billing, all of it. And the last point you made there, Jeff, about the growth. Yeah, look, if the players want to keep the manager and want the manager, they are going to have to figure it out. Like, it's up to them. If they can play better, obviously, they're not going to be a managerial change because there's not going to be any reason to. So if the players love him and want him, they need to go do that themselves. I come back to what you just said about his growth in the last 2 years. And, they took a risk by hiring him without interviewing anybody else and saying this is the guy, and gave him a long-term contract, not just an interim job. And, I think the hope and the expectation was, might not understand all of it day one, but as it goes, it's going to improve rapidly. And I think I hear you say that hasn't really been the case.
Yeah. I am going from afar here, and I'm talking with people who are, in the organization, on the field. And I've never had somebody come to me or in a conversation say, you know what, like Dan's really good at this. And you hear that about other managers.
All right, there you go. That was Jeff Passan yesterday. Obviously, things change a little bit overnight as Dom Canzone and friends go yard again and again and again and again and again. So where are we at today? We'll dig into it next on Brock and Salk.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Put in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
How sweet it is!
50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers. Presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues.
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 Seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Be all in on summer with service from Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland. Heading out on a road trip? Make sure your Toyota is ready to go during the Toyota Tires Savings Event. Save $100 on 4 eligible tires. And with an open service drive and no appointment necessary, getting expert Toyota service has never been easier. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. And make sure to check out their service specials page. Offers valid through July 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
O'Brien. Need a lift? At Levitt Machinery, we take a different approach to help you lift more and worry less. We take the time to learn how you work. Then we match your business with equipment that solves your unique challenges. From forklifts and telehandlers to track loaders and excavators, we make sure you get the right equipment at the right cost. Because when your equipment does its job, you can focus on yours. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. You know our customers have a lot of fun with trying to figure out new and creative ways to use closeout bifold blanks to fill their needs. They can also be used as small double door units, access doors that are pre-hung, and even bypass doors. And with thousands of closeout bifold blanks in stock in Marysville and at our bargain barn, you can put your creative DIY mind to work. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline or on Cedar Avenue in Marysville. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
When's the last time payroll was the easy part of your week? With Gusto, it can be. Gusto is the all-in-one platform designed to take the hassle out of managing your team, from payroll and compliance to hiring, onboarding, and more. With Gusto, you can get back 2 full days each month with all the time you've saved. Go to gusto.com today and learn why over 500,000 small businesses choose Gusto. That's GUSTO.com. Gusto.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
Well, Brock, seemed like today was going to be an obvious conversation, and then Dom Canzone strikes not once but twice. He joins Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez
and
Rob
Refsnyder.
As the Mariners crushed 5 home runs last night and rode to a 7-6 win over the one good starter that they were going to face in LA this week. Very strange, man.
Yeah.
Very weird game, that baseball. Very unpredictable.
Who was the Undertaker's guy? Who was his?
You mean Paul Bearer?
When they lifted Refsnyder to put Rayleigh in, I was hoping Paul Bearer would walk Rayleigh down. And, the Undertaker could walk right off the field as he emerges from death with a home run.
Luke Rayleigh.
Is that who someone said you look like in Ranked once?
Paul Bearer?
Yeah. Said you look,
no.
What? It was a WWE character.
Yeah, that's
someone said I looked like Paul Bearer? God, I hope not.
You don't remember?
So that was before Dr. Coogan.
No,
and in the winter,
Bear is like
in the wintertime.
He's so pale. He looks like death.
I don't know what these people look like.
Maura.
Yeah, Maura, don't Google search him.
Don't
do
look up Paul Bearer.
No.
And when the Undertaker comes for you, like, he's such a weird dude. He was awesome. I mean, I love the whole Undertaker Paul Bearer.
I'm gonna ask Justin who it was.
It better not have been him.
No,
that doesn't sound right. No, I don't
sure
think so.
Yes.
I think it was Kurt Angle.
That
maybe.
was the most entertaining Mariner game in 2 months. That was the fill in the blank. That was the most compelling theater. That was the most, hey, you could play to your ceiling and your capability kind of game. Like that one was pretty juicy last night, and then all the way down to the final pitch twice.
All right, so why do we think that happened, right? Is it dumb luck? Baseball's weird. Is it they get a lift from the return of at least one guy that they kind of needed? I mean, like, we can say all we want about, and Brock, you've written it 100 times, all the ways Refsnyder's been awful this year.
Yeah.
But he has been a good hitter.
Yes, he was a 900 plus OPS versus lefties.
And he's been dealing with a knee injury that he then took, almost a month off?
And we have learned over the years that when guys typically catastrophically fail from their background, injury is usually a big part of it in baseball. They don't love to talk about it. They don't love to make excuses. It's really difficult just to point to one thing.
And there's no way to just get healthy unless you remove yourself from the game, which he did for about a month. So Was that a big part of it? You take Colt Emerson out of the lineup. I don't know what's going on. Did we ever find out what happened?
Nobody asked.
I think everyone forgot because of all the excitement of the game. It's like, oh yeah, crap, Colt wasn't even out there last night. But you take a guy who's not hitting and replace him with some people that are hitting, and then Cal hits a home run and Julio hits a home run.
And maybe I'm projecting. So
did the guys step up for Dan?
Maybe I'm projecting. But I feel like if I had to, that kind of effort, and again, baseball is funky, and you can hit balls hard, and they don't go over the fence or they go at people. But you get on a plane after losing 3 of 4, and you're third place in your division, and you're 3 games under 500, and you are this collective group of players that have played so much better than this. I would think they're all, and then we're going to play the best team. And what happens? We say this all the time. We're going to say it a lot with the Seahawks this year. You know what you're going to get from everybody that comes into your building? Their very best shot. You're going to get their best shot because if you don't, you're going to get embarrassed.
Right.
Because it's Ohtani and it's Freeman and it's all in the Betts. It's all these Muncie. They're all good. So you better bring your best.
It's funny too. As good as they are, their pitching's not that good.
Well, they've got like 3 starters out.
I know
Snell's
that.
out. Glasnow's out.
I know. But when you go in to face them, the lineup is absurd.
The lineup's absurd. And is every pitcher a left-hander? Was every guy in the bullpen that
four lefties in the bullpen? Yeah. And
a lefty starter today, a lefty starter last night, and
their offense is ridiculous, but their pitching is not. At least not the. I mean, you're not going to see their best pitcher, Murakami, right?
Right.
So what do you get?
You get a lefty today.
You get a lefty today who's got like a 5 ERA. You got Roki Sasaki tomorrow who's got like a 4.75 ERA. Like, okay.
Yep.
I mean, they're not like horrible. But it's not, murderer's row in terms of the pitching and the bullpen.
Evaldi, kind of what you just saw coming out.
The bullpen has been problematic for a few years now for the Dodgers. You go back and remember the World Series last year, they didn't know what to do in the 7th and 8th innings, right? And eventually they're going to get Diaz back tonight, which will help them. But yeah, it is.
I mean, this sounds bad to say, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but we have seen this from this group, this core, that especially on Julio's side, the dude is like, hey man, count me out. Like I like you often get his very best, and collectively this group's best when A, they get counted out, and B, when the stage is like, oh, I get to play. Get to play packed house against Dodgers, best team in baseball, who everybody's talking about, and you're counting us out, and we're not playing good. Let's go. And I thought Julio played a great game last night. I thought his at-bats were phenomenal. How he got to that ball at the bottom of the zone after watching a couple strikes late in the game. I
said earlier, I thought maybe my favorite play of the game last night, sneaky important. Obviously, the 5 home runs are the biggest moments of the game, all 5 of them in various ways. Obviously. Next one, I think it was Julio's steal.
Pretty big.
Right before the second Canzone home run, Julio comes up with a hit, and first pitch, bang, steals second base. I thought it was great. Show off all of the things that make you Julio. We talked about this, being aggressive and putting, as you love to say, putting pressure on the other team. All of those things I thought happened in that moment. And so did the Julio steal lead to the Canzone home run? I can't prove that. I don't know. But it sure helped. And what Canzone's doing is awesome. I mean, this dude... He has what you call easy power. I don't. I'm not somebody who breaks down swings. That's not my forte. But when I see his home runs go to dead center as often as they do, it feels relevant to me. Not that he's a go the other way guy and left field power. That's not who he is. But he is not all pull it to. It is dead center.
Correct.
And that, I think, is why they go such a long way. He just has a knack with a fairly easy swing. He doesn't look like a max effort swing. But when it whips through the zone, my God, does that ball go a long way. It is loud.
Yeah, and he is the quadzilla in the lineup. So to me, that force always comes from the ground. And he is a powerful... He just is. He is a strong,
just
powerful
hilarious
guy.
I mean, somebody texted in this morning. I think they're right. Like, what if this Mariner team is the Dom Canzone, Cole Young Mariners who were being supported by Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh? Like, that might be what we're looking at. And by the way, I do not look like this guy. I do not look like Paul Bearer. I just Googled him.
Yeah.
I do not look like Paul Bearer.
No.
He's wearing theatrical white makeup. He has a huge black mustache and a jet black toupee.
Oh, pre-Coogan.
No.
Yeah,
Stop it.
bit.
I don't want to hear it. No, there is none of that.
I just remember someone said you looked like a hype man from WWE.
I
And
will.
it wasn't a compliment.
I look more like the lovely Miss Elizabeth than I do like this guy. I will take a lot of grief, but not for looking like
Or maybe
Paul
it wasn't
Bearer.
look like him, but they assigned characters to all of us.
Oh, I'll buy that. Sure. Hype man, yeah. Weird, absolutely. But I don't want to say anybody say I look like Paul Bearer.
I'm going to ask Justin.
How dare you?
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Second-year guard, Gray Zabel. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning to you as well.
What will you notice from your position about the new offense?
Brian's came in and done an absolutely unbelievable job. He wants to build on what we already have, but put a new kind of little wrinkle to what he knows about football. And I think we're going to run the ball first, which I'm super excited about.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either, because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
When you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. It's Bob Stelton here, and for 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders. One mission only, to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. That's why riders have trusted Law Tigers, because this isn't just what they do, it's who they are. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how much those things mean to you. Law Tigers, 25 years strong and still riding with you. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Man, what a difference a day makes. What an absolutely huge difference a day makes. Yesterday, Brock, we're playing sound from Jeff Passan. There's still a lot to get through about what the Mariners should do and should they make a change in their managerial structure. And then Dom Canzone strikes, not just once, but twice.
Here comes the pitch. Swung on, hit high, deep, center field. Has he done it again? Warning track wall, sail away, Dom Canzone. He has done it again. His second home run of the night, and the Mariners have the lead 7-5. Dom blasts another one dead center field. An unbelievable night here at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, those were 2 of their 5 home runs. Julio had 1. That's good news. Rob Refsnyder had 1. That's great news. And so did Cal Raleigh. Yep. And honestly, like, you could make an argument that's the best news of any of them, because if they could get Cal going and the power stroke going. He chatted with Shannon right after the game.
It was a great game. It was a great team win. Everybody contributed. Everybody did a great job. Give a lot of credit to our bullpen for setting it down there, and obviously Rock too. Getting out of some big jams there, that was huge for us.
So, a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
You and the baseball guy and gals out there. State Patrol helped us the other day. I appreciate that on the text toy. So, you baseball aficionados, answer me these two questions. Number one. How has Dom grown so well to hit lefties? Or was that always there and it was like, maybe we would like platoons, but how has he grown his game?
I think I have an answer for that.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, how good are his little cellies? Or he just kind of like disgusted with the bat?
So I got an answer on both those questions. The first answer I would give you is I think he's just become a better hitter. I think he's just gotten to be a better hitter. And it turns out that, when you're that good and you can get the opportunity, he got it done. Like, I don't think that's going to happen to Luke Raley at this stage in Luke's career. No. But at Canzone's age and experience level, you give him a shot.
Do you think it's because JP, Cole, and him all share one little thing? They're all fairly open. They're not wide open, they're not like
right,
crazy,
but they're not closed off.
But they're not closed in any way.
It could be. Okay. I don't know. I don't know enough about that part of the game. As for the celebrations, I mostly love them. I'm going to give them a 90% love it. But I will say, last night when he hit the second one, I thought he was mad.
So good.
I thought he'd popped it up at first. Because, center field home runs are always a little hard to tell on TV.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, oh, he got under it. He just missed it. He's pissed. But no, he was just giving you I don't even touch this bat. Get this bat away from me. Get this bat away from me. Game 2 tonight, Emerson Hancock.
Lasagna!
Against another lefty, Eric Lauer.
Here's the
Good
second
questions,
thing you need to know.
I love the way you hit on the important stuff.
I get paid to ask
I love that. Best news yesterday, Brock might not have even happened in the game for the Mariners. It might have been what was going on for the Rainiers.
3-1 is clubbed in the air. Deep right field. That ball is way back. It is out of here. Brendan Donovan.
Who? Oh, yeah, Brendan Donovan. Remember him? He could be back from the dead along with Rob Refsnyder.
I think that was back to back. I was looking at their stats, actually, yesterday afternoon, and I know you read off Luke Arkins had sent out Brendan's stats there after 6 or 7 games. Actually, the last 2 or 3, he's got a hit in every game,
to pick it
and the
up.
power's starting to come, and starting at least statistically look and feel.
And by the way,
better.
that's fine. Like, I wasn't reading them to show, like, oh my God, Brendan Donovan's terrible. Just it's taking him a little bit of time to get the timing right, and as soon as it's right, he's going to be back in this lineup.
Well, and look at JP's wrist. Like, JP's trying to do this, but his, he can hardly, that wrist ain't right.
And we don't know what's going on with Colt, and, for
and
now.
Mr. Naylor's wrist was barking last night.
You're playing
too,
Weston Wilson more often than you probably want to. Although I will say, I don't mind a Weston Wilson at bat now and again. They're not terrible. They've been okay, at least for who he is. Rob Refsnyder back last night. We'll see what happens with Michael Arroyo. Could he be next? Adam Jude suggested that there's a good chance of that. And then Emerson Hancock, as we get 5 days away here from the deadline, Jeff Passan says he might not be a Mariner in a week.
The Mariners would like to use a starting pitcher to go out and get a bat, preferably a right-handed hitting bat, not a whole lot of outfield help. Maybe they go for an infielder there. This also could be Luis Castillo, but he's owed $22.75 million for next season. And with more control for Emerson Hancock, who's under control through the 2030 season, and the cheap price of his salary until then, it makes a lot more sense that the Mariners would deal Hancock. I do expect him to go.
And he goes tonight, so this could be his final start as a Mariner.
Could be, and if he pitches well, maybe it changes the value. Who knows? We'll find out.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Seahawks will be off today. That I know. They get a day of rest after finishing up the ramp-up period and no pads. Tomorrow, the pads come on for the first time, and we'll be over there tomorrow morning. We'll talk to Mike McDonald at 9:30 and get a sense of where things are at. Turns out there was a little bit of news yesterday coming out of camp, and I would call it good news. Leonard Williams asked after practice what was going on with his contract, which is not something that had been on my radar. He's got a year to go before it really becomes a conversation.
I mean, there's been a few conversations, but nothing set in stone. I think we're all focused on the season starting right now. And, we know that that's towards the end of the season. We have time to figure that out when the time comes.
All right, so look.
Does he have? This is it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said one more, as in this upcoming season, then it's done. Yeah.
And I would say, look, he says, let's talk about it at the end of the year or whatever. End of this year, you're going to be talking about Sam Darnold and Byron Murphy. Those are the two big conversations at the end of this year.
Yep.
I'd sure love to see Leonard Williams locked up so that that's not a conversation the next time. But you got to make sure you do it in such a way that it doesn't prohibit you from signing Byron Murphy.
Or you say with Sam Darnold, hey man, we'll follow the Baker Mayfield. Baker signed a 3-year deal. He played. This is going to be his 3rd year in it, and then we can franchise him after that.
I mean, you can.
I mean,
but I'm just saying those are going to be it's still going to be a conversation next year, as is Byron Murphy. Wouldn't you love to get this one taken care of now?
You would.
Maybe after.
And Leo's been. And by the way, I think the last contract, I'm not going to say he did right by the team, but I don't think he held them over the barrel. He wanted to be here.
He went to free agency and then immediately signed back while he was in Japan, if I remember.
And I believe there were sentiments and thoughts that he could have leveraged for more.
Yep.
But he wanted to be here. He wanted to be within this program.
I would hope he still does. He's really, really good here. God, I love him as a player.
The question I don't think is whether he wants to. It's how long does he want to keep doing this?
Well, but if he says they're having conversations, then he must want to keep doing it after this year, which would be awesome.
Yep.
All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. Brock, I said at the end of the show yesterday, I wanted to just spend some time thinking about everything Jeff Passan had to say. And I know it's a huge win last night, and we'll keep kind of celebrating it for good reason. It might be a jumping off point. Or they could go out and lose the next 2 games and score a total of 2 runs. We don't know yet. But everything Jeff said was important yesterday. I came out with 4 things that I thought were the most important and led me down a couple of different paths. I'd like to come back to them next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob, 2 to 7.
Seahawks out here, Hard Knocks film crew is out here. You kind of have to look for them. They did take up the whole gravel parking lot out there with all their trailers.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but I think Mike McDonald, this is right up his alley, right? Like how to ignore it and don't worry about all of that stuff. He's all about that. It's going to be interesting to watch what footage they use, and they're out there recording everything. They got it dialed in. They've done this before.
On Seattle Sports. Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
We're all looking for ways to add extra income without adding extra hours. How about joining a credit union where your money earns money? Dave Wyman for Harborstone Credit Union. They have a money market special offering strong returns for your hard-earned money. Open yours at harborstone.com/moneymarket and start earning 3.75 annual percentage yield. The best part is you retain full access to your money the entire time. That's harborstone.com, insured by NCUA.
Holy smokes, I can see. Hey, everybody, it's Rick Riz, and I just had refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision, and it's amazing. K2 Vision RLE means no more readers or glasses for me. Plus, I'll never get a cataract. Now, when I call a game, you won't see those readers dangling from the end of my nose to see the field and then my notes. I only wish I had done it sooner. It's like seeing a whole new ball game. K2 Vision RLE was quick and painless, over in just minutes, and I knew I was in great hands. The K2 Vision RLE team has done over 150,000 lens procedures. You can trust their stuff. K2 Vision RLE is my permanent solution to a lifetime of great vision. It could be yours too. Enjoy life's good years without readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Get your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Then you can make the same call I did. Goodbye, glasses. K2VisionRLE.com.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the Seattle Sports app or go to seattlesports.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
That's seattlesports.com/win.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
What if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Guaranteed. Well, thanks to Xfinity, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. Now through August 24th, get their best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. You're guaranteed 5 years of super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats and finds and fixes issues before you even notice them. No annual contracts or commitments, no hidden fees, and the best equipment included. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber, coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Come join Cascade Machinery and Electric, where your skills really matter. Family owned in the Pacific Northwest industrial equipment leader for over 100 years. They're hiring manual and job shop machinists in Seattle and Spokane. If you're a skilled machinist at any level that takes pride in your craft, come join the Cascade Machinery and Electric team. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers and apply today. Cascade Machinery and Electric, powering the Pacific Northwest since 1918.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, mostly talking Mariners at the moment, but we'll get back to some Seahawks. Brady Henderson joins us in an hour, and we are kicking off the 26th Seahawks season with the preseason home opener, August 15th, Brock. We want to send one of you and 3 of your friends. How about that? To watch in person. All you got to do is open that Seattle Sports app to find out how. If you don't already have the app, shame on you, shame. But simply text the word app to 866-979-3776. We will send you a link to download it. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. Contest runs through Monday, August 3rd. All right, Jeff Passan, pretty explosive yesterday. I would say that is about as... yesterday is about as negative a day as I could remember about the Mariners on this station in a long, long, long time. And it started with Jeff kind of coming on and saying, look, I think the Mariners need to make a change in their managerial job, that if you're not going to make changes elsewhere, that's the best way for them to kind of turn this thing around. And he said they look like a 75-win team. He said a lot of stuff. It was a lot. But I spent some time thinking about it yesterday and kind of, I listened to Bob and Dave, and they played a bunch of the sound and had a really good conversation about it at 3 o'clock as I was driving. Four things from Jeff stood out to me that I wanted to come back to with you. The first one was this.
I think it's very simple. If Dan Wilson weren't one of the, best players in franchise history, he would not be manager anymore. I think it's simple as that. There's politics that are going on here. And it's always like when you hire somebody like him, it's the same. I think the comparable is Buster Posey as president of baseball operations with the Giants. If things don't go right, it's going to be harder to get rid of that person to whom the franchise owes a debt because of his service in the past.
Okay, so let's clear something up. Because the first thing I heard texts and even Bob and Dave talking about it was, well, that means they can't move on. They can't do it because of the 50th celebration coming up on August 8th. That's not what Jeff said. That's not what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I sincerely hope that those two things are not related. And by the way, if the Mariners continue to flounder and if last night was an aberration, I don't see how, like, the 50 waiting for Dan to be announced, it's not more awkward if he's been fired. It's more awkward if they're losing and people want him fired. Mm-hmm. And so I sincerely hope that the 50th celebration has nothing to do with it, and I would be shocked if it did.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if this had anything to do with the Mariners. Like, why would you trade a season of success, if you truly believe that that's the direction you should go, for a one-night? That's just not how it works. So, okay. The more relevant piece of that is, yeah, it's hard to move on from your franchise heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, Ray Bork was one of my favorite players ever, still is, franchise hero in Boston. And for years, he always said, I don't want to coach here. I don't want a job with the organization.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be like a, ambassador, but I don't want a real job. Like, because coaches get fired.
Yep.
I don't want to be in that position. I want to just, live as Ray Bork.
Yep.
And Dan is not Ken Griffey Jr. He's not, Ichiro. He's not, the top of the top. But he is a incredibly well-liked, and Bob said this over and over again yesterday. He's like, I just don't want to have this conversation about Dan.
Right.
I don't blame him. Nobody does. Everybody likes Dan. But the reality is, like, this was always going to be the case the moment you made that hire.
Yeah.
That there was one day where it would get awkward.
I think there's a layer here that didn't get discussed, that Jeff didn't bring up, but I think is a reality in that, too, beyond just him being a Mariner, Salk, is Jerry hired him.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this all the time with ADs and head coaches, GMs and coaches. Like, this is my guy. Like, this is who I'm going to hire. B, you also saw an incredible amount of patience through the ups and downs of Scott Service.
Yep. It's a good point. And I had that in my notes. They've been a patient organization.
Yes.
Very.
Yes. John, and from the very top, the ownership group, pretty patient, I think, with Jerry. And through some of the ups and the downs and the rebuild and everything else. So, yeah, I think patience has been the shortcut, and it's been one of their keys. And to do it in a valley that this has been, again, a prolonged valley, especially out on the road and some of the listlessness and everything else. But I don't know. I think those two factors play a role right there alongside him being
the only reason I don't Jeff doesn't just come out with a statement like that. Yeah,
no,
he said last night.
I think
he's
Jeff
hearing
is fresh,
that from people inside the organization. That if Dan wasn't Dan, that they might have already made a move. And I am a little curious. Like, that's not Jeff speculating. That's Jeff saying what he's hearing from people.
Yeah, and right now he's hearing a lot, right? Right now it's a trade deadline here in a few days. So he's talking to everybody. Where's the momentum? What are you hearing? What are things going on? He comes on with us every Tuesday through the peaks and the valleys and listening to himself saying they're poised to make the greatest run.
By the way, last
history.
night he texted me. He's like, I'm back in. Mariners going to be great. He also told us, and this was the one that really jumped out to me in the moment, I think this is the crux of the actual issue, talking about Dan's process over the last 2 years.
It's a whole suite of things that managers need to do these days. And Dan Wilson, when he took over, was put in a very difficult position. He didn't have any experience doing any of these things, particularly at the major league level. And so the learning curve can take a little while. But what progress has there been? What growth has been seen? And most of all, like, how has that manifested itself positively on the Mariners in terms of their one-loss record?
That, to me, is the crux of this conversation. And we asked Jeff, okay, what is it? And he's like, well, it's not that the clubhouse has quit on him. I think you saw very clearly last night that that's not the case. Nope. They have not quit at all. But they knew they were taking a risk when they hired someone without experience. Yep. They knew there was a risk in there. We all knew that. But that's not unheard of these days. Brand new managers who have never managed before, but most of them have been recent players. Few of them have been, out of baseball for whatever it was, 20 years. Not out of baseball, but out of playing for as long as Dan had. They were always looking for a ramp-up period during a time when their window was already wide open, and that made me a little nervous. But 2 years in, that ramp up should be done now. That should be over. And this is where I think that lack of growth, I think that's what Jeff is alluding to. And I think that's where some of the challenge
and that's where I think this last offseason, after losing in Game 7 and everything else, and we can debate that till we're blue in the face, that's where I think there was a hope and an expectation that, okay, bring some reinforcements. Okay, kind of surround Dan. Not too indifferent, by the way, than the guy we're going to sit down with at 9:30 tomorrow. Mike McDonald never been a head coach at any level. He'd been a really elite defensive coordinator. Dan had been a great catcher. Dan had been a roving instructor. Dan had been all over the organization, fingerprints in the minor leagues and doing all of that, not managing, but he'd been around it, and you didn't know how it would be in that seat. And we didn't know for sure how Mike McDonald would handle and process and all the things he's done. But what has Mike constantly done? Surround himself with people different than him. Surround himself with innovators. Himself,
I will say, the thing that has probably helped Dan the most over the last month or so, and the reason, Brock, you've, I think, correctly noted that the weird, troubling in-game decision-making problems have decreased, is that Dom Canzone took away a lot of those decisions.
Yeah, and Greg's and Greg,
you don't need
Gabe,
to make a decision.
And Gabe Spire,
right?
And your bullpen is taking on roles. Ferrer and Mooney's gotten back to being like.
When those guys perform,
That's right.
you don't need to pinch hit for Canzone, so it becomes a much easier game when there are fewer moving pieces. So those things have certainly helped him along the way. But that lack of growth, I think, is the one thing that is, hey, look, you knew there was going to be a ramp up. But 2 years? Like, this is your window. I think that is kind of where the crux of that conversation is. Third thing from Jeff Passan is, okay, well, if it's not managerial change, which he says they're not going to do, then what is it?
The Mariners, not just the Mariners, but franchises outside and the models of the other 29 teams and observers. We all thought the Mariners were going to be really good this year. So I think in order to prescribe changes, it needs to come internally, and there needs to be a reckoning of some sorts within the franchise where they say what we've got right now isn't working. How do we fix or find what might? And it might not just be adding. There might be some subtraction that has to go on as well, and it might get kind of uncomfortable. And that's where you get to the point where you're like, okay, where do we make those changes? Who could go that might not be on our radar otherwise?
Okay, so this becomes fairly simple once you actually look at the 26-man roster. If you were actually thinking about subtracting while adding, there's really only 3 names that come up at all. Only 3 names. 2 pitchers, 1 hitter. It's Emerson Hancock and or Luis Castillo, because let's face it, having 6 starters is a bizarre situation. Like, there is a possibility that if you have a full bullpen, you take Luis out an inning earlier last night, go to your Cooper Criswell, and, maybe you don't need the second. Like, maybe it's not as close a game. But you can't do that because you have 6 starters right now, which means you're missing a guy in your bullpen. It's a weird situation. The guys don't like the 6 starting pitchers, the 6-man rotation. They don't like the piggyback. It's awkward. So dealing one of those 2 guys, maybe it's George Kirby, I guess, if you want to add one more.
I kind of
fair enough. You should add Kirby onto that as well. Yes, you're right. But okay, dealing a starting pitcher is one side of that.
Yep.
The other one is Randy Arozarena. There's nobody else.
Luke?
Nah, I mean, maybe, but that would...
Especially, you kind of, I think Jerry even hinted at maybe Laz down the stretch. He's a huge swing and miss guy.
I'm sorry, man. If you were looking to win the World Series...
You're not bringing up Laz.
You're not bringing up Laz Montez and hoping that it's better than Luke Raley. It's just not the case.
Yep.
No, if you are really of the belief that you've got to add by subtraction, you have to and you take the pitching and make it separate. You say, look, as good as Randy's been, he's been really good. There's still value there, and you're going to have to make it up some other way. But that maybe the personality, maybe something is clouding the rest of the team. And I'm sorry that I'm still stuck on the WBC thing, not for the fact that Cal didn't get enough at bats because it's 4 months ago. But I do believe, even if Cal played a role in why all that went down, and even if Cal should have shaken his hand, you just can't MF your teammates in the press. It's just not a thing. And I believed it at the time, and that's not going to change. Nothing anyone tells me will change my view. That is weird, and that it is a shadow that still hangs over the team.
Well, and then about what was a month ago when we had the whole conversation with Adam Jukes. I think it was one of his questions about identity and what kind of team you want to be, and we want to be this and we want to be that, and you just kind of look at who fits in those silos and who doesn't. And and now once again with all of these things, this is why baseball is so fascinating this time of year, especially before the trade deadline. What's so fascinating is on the other side, Jeff Passan can say this is one of the top 5, if not top 3, organizations in totality.
We're going to get to that one in a moment.
So is this a time to take this kind of risk?
It's a huge risk, but if you truly believe that the specter and shadow of what happened and whatever went down there is maybe it's part of the reason Cal's not having a good year, or maybe Cal's just hurt and has been all year.
Yep.
But if there's a chemistry issue, if that's real, then I do think you have to take that seriously. I can't speak to exactly how real it is. But it's going to be real hard to convince me that that's a total nothing burger.
Do you trust Randy for the next 60 games?
Trust?
Do you trust that Randy wants to win a World Series with the Mariners?
I trust that Randy Arozarena is
of his heart.
No, I don't. But I trust that Randy will keep playing the way he's been playing, as much as I trust that anyone will. He's been really good. Even the last week, as everyone else kind of coming in around him, he's putting together some really good at bats.
Yeah.
He hits the ball hard. And then, he'll walk to first base. Like he's
mercurial.
He's got a little of that Manny Ramirez element to him. And sometimes you do need to move on from guys like that. Once it becomes a problem, only they know how big a problem it is, if at all. Mm-hmm. Last thing is exactly what you said, Brock, that despite all of this conversation, there's still a lot of positive.
More than 25?
And Jeff, you asked him how many teams, organizations would trade their entire organization for the Mariners organization.
More than 25?
And there's the problem, right?
Yes. I think if we're just starting from scratch on the 180 players that you've got in your organization domestically, and I think if I actually were doing this, I think I'd probably have them third. I'd probably go Dodgers, Brewers, Mariners.
I mean, he thinks they're the third best organization, top to bottom, players, development, drafting, all of it. And that's why this is a conversation for Jeff about the coaching staff as opposed to about the front office.
Yeah, about the front office and the potential on
has
the field.
put together systems throughout the whole organization, which is what they're responsible for, that is the envy of most of baseball. But the coaching staff is not getting the most out of that team so far this year.
Yeah, the potential and all that talent, all that good stuff, has not really shown up consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Is it now kind of go time? I'm tired. We're not doing this anymore. Oh, this is going to be the game. Oh, this might be the moment. Oh, I'm just kind of tired of that. Like they got to stack an old Mike McDonaldism. They got to start stacking these things and doing it together. And then there's got to be real hard conversations. Like, is this the time? Just 1 week ago, Passan's like, this is the time. This is the time you take those risks. So this is the time you add. This is the time you go get, if you're the third best or fourth best organization and you could add Mason Miller to the back end and buttress it with that and give, and move from some of those assets you have in totality, now is the time to do that. Oh, man, great question.
There's some really good stuff to come here in the next 5 days leading up to the trade deadline. Right now, though, we'll switch gears a little Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, brought to you by Culligan Seattle.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock, 3 good football questions. We call Blue 88. We'll start here. How smart is Mike McDonald?
How smart is he?
Yeah.
Mike?
How smart is Mike McDonald?
Oh, I think he is. Way up there, Salky. I'm trying to see which of my 3 questions.
I'm guessing that has to do with DeMarcus Lawrence and when he realized Mike McDonald was a brainiac.
Thank you. Yeah. Why don't you tee it up that way? It's an awfully late night flight, and I don't have to pull out my Ebenezer's if you actually read the question.
You want me to read the question you wrote?
Oh, no, I don't need you to judge.
While sitting in the war room during the draft would be my first pick for experiences. I'd love to do that before I die.
Yes.
What would also be high on my list?
Thank you. I think that's a great way to tee that up. You know what would be high on my list? Watching Mike McDonald actually install the defense.
Okay.
DeMarcus Lawrence, he's been in the league 10 years. He's been around Dan Quinn. He's been around some high-level defense. He never seen a, what do you say, brainiac like Mike. Listen to
first install. See, like our plays, it can come in as a simple play, but you have so many checks and adjustments to it. You start to wonder, like, dang, like this play is actually 10 plays in one. Throughout my NFL career, I wasn't used to that. I was just used to playing a run. If I see pass, communicate, and, pass rush. But, now I had to fix my mind to understanding that it's so much more details out there in the game to, help you make plays. So just being under Mike's system, I was able to get that last year.
It's pretty cool. Honestly, I would love to sit in and watch not just, okay, here's our over front, here's our under front, here's our 3-down odd front, here's our different fronts, here's our different coverages. I think I've seen and heard enough of that over 30 years. But what he's talking about, like, no, you actually can do this. And then if they do this, we're going to do this. And if they get in these formations, you've got this now, different cards you can play. Like, we're doing all that now. Frankly, it reminds me of when I went from the West Coast system that I thought, I've got the West Coast system down. There's not a system in the world I can't know or understand. And when I went to Indy in the first day of install in the first mini camp, calling Molly, like, I'm dumb. Like, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know if it was the concussions. Like, I'm dumb. I can't do this. There is no way on God's green earth am I going to be able to do what Peyton does. Change protection, see all of these things, check out of any play, have 3-play menus almost every time coming to the line of scrimmage. Like, what? Just run the play. Like, we just ran the play. Mike Holmgren didn't love a lot of checks. He loved to get in rhythm and tempo, and I understood all that. That's football I knew. Go and attack and get in rhythm and play fast. No, Peyton was like, no, I'm a machine and I'm a processor. And whatever you do, I'm going to trump it with this call. And that sounds an awful lot like I hear from DeMarcus Lawrence.
All right, question number 2. Well, Jalen Carter, Brock, I think you know how I feel about him, got his massive deal in Philadelphia yesterday. So despite whatever questions people might have about him, they believe in him, and they're going to pay him as such. 4 years, $152 million, 106 guaranteed.
Yep.
All right. Well, regardless of whether or not that's a good move for Philly, what does it mean for both Leonard Williams and for Byron Murphy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just elevates the ceiling. Did you see? I mean, even compared to guys at that position, that was another bump up. That was Howie Roseman going, yeah, that's I know, in today's dollars, that's a lot, and it's going to set a new ceiling. But in the years to come, as this cap continues to grow, this is not going to be outrageous. And Byron Murphy, I'm sure, his agent and friends, family are like, hey, bro, do what you did last year and look at what's coming on the other side. Because remember, Byron was a first-round pick, and if precedent shows here with both JSN and what they're going to get done with Spoon, like, yeah, we'd like to get this done before your 4th year and 5th year so we can fold all that good stuff in. When it comes to Leonard, it's a little different, right? I mean, you're talking about in Carter and Murphy guys in their mid-20s. Leo's 32. So what are we looking at? You want to put together a 3-year deal? If that average annual was 38 and you're going to be 33, 34, 35, what is a reasonable, fair number for you? Is it a 3-year deal at $35 million average? Is it a 3-year deal at, $110 million and we'll guarantee 70? Like, is there a number there that starts to make some sense? If they were talking behind the scenes, I'm sure John and the capologist threw their phones down when they saw that new ceiling and threshold. But that's the way the game works.
That sure is. All right, question number 3. Mentioned Dave and Bob earlier. They had a good conversation yesterday about your favorite athletes that never panned out due to injury. Obviously, Kenny McIntosh kind of got that thing started. Who were your favorite athletes, Brock, that just unfortunately couldn't stay healthy?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of some of the locker rooms that I was in. And Sean Springs went on to have like a 16-year NFL career. So I don't think anybody would put Sean Springs on that list. But when I tell you, I was listening to our Schlereth and our sister station talk about Patrick Surtain. Yeah, number 1 corner in the league, right? Jeremy Fowler, number 1 back-to-back years, not even close. Amazing. And in listening to Champ Bailey and those guys talk about him, they're like, yeah, he's just different. Corners are not supposed to be that big, that strong, that fast, that long, that athletic. When I tell you that Sean Springs was like the Adonis, he was the Adonis. Like, he was 6'2", he had broad shoulder, he's the most body beautiful thing. He could run, but he had this hole in his hamstring. I remember walking in the training room, and literally you could like put a golf ball into the hole in his hamstring that was created through different injuries through the years. And yet he, again, persevered and played at a high level. But if that dude had never had that level of injury, you're talking about the perfect creation of what the most elite physical corner could look like.
There you go. That is today's Blue 88. My answer would have been Brock Heward, but we all have different answers. Sean Springs, I think I've mentioned this to you before. You know how bad I remember nothing. Yes. But when Sean Springs was drafted, 6 overall or whatever it was,
3rd
overall,
Ohio State,
they showed this one clip of him over and over again. He's on the sideline. Somebody's coming up the sideline. He's going the other way. And he lays the most intense hit. I feel like I remember it now. What is that, 30 years later? 25 years later?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Like it was yesterday. I can still picture them playing this hit and just going like, that's a corner?
Yep.
Whew.
Yeah, that dude was different.
Someone's saying Bo Jackson. Yeah, obviously Bo's career could have been longer. I mean, that's for sure.
Yep.
There's no doubt Bo's career. Growing up in New England, Robert Edwards was probably the guy I would have mentioned. Remember, he blew his knee out playing sand flag football at the Pro Bowl.
Dislocated his knee.
It was so sad. It was never. He came back eventually, but it was never the same.
Yep.
Trying to think. Those are just football players.
You're running back out of South Carolina a few years ago. You loved him, and There've been some different guys, but for me, in the locker room, and again, Sean had like a 15-year NFL career, so I mean, he was still an amazing player.
Yeah.
But golly, if he could have been fully healthy, you're talking about a very rare Ferrari.
All right, coming up next, Brock, I got to play you the sound. I heard it. Maura sent this over. I mean, Eric Lindros, a great answer. Thank you, 650. You're absolutely right. Eric Lindros for hockey, no doubt, 100%.
Oh, it? Kyle Lewis?
Kyle Lewis, that name popped into my mind here in Seattle for sure. Obviously, C.J. Prosise is the king of this, but it's the C.J. Prosise Award.
Prosise? What about your first-round running back that averaged 5.4 yards a carry? What about him? What about that guy?
Sean Penny?
Yeah, what about Penny?
He had a great career anyway. He was already great.
He was the best in Salk's mind. Ken Walker sucks, but Rashad Penny was fantastic.
Who has a higher yard per carry average? All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to play you this sound that Maura said. What are we doing? What are we even doing?
Oh, I know.
What are we even doing? Yeah. When I play you the sound, you'll be like, oh, my God, again? We got to go through this again? It's next on Brock and Salk.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Put in the work every day, you know.
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the Seattle Sports app or go to seattlesports.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
That's seattlesports.com/win.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
I'll play you this sound. Brady Henderson will join us in a half hour. It's not quite Bucky Brooks level 7 and 10, but this is your buddy Warren Sharp, Brock, on with Colin Cowherd, talking about the Seahawks and his prediction.
Kind of. Cowherd was out.
I know.
I think if Cowherd was in, he might have challenged.
Oh, you think so?
Warren a little bit.
Was this Jason McIntyre?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason's not big on the Seahawks.
I think this is a fringe team on that playoff discussion.
I'll play more. But what?
Why?
I think this is a fringe playoff team.
I think that they are a team that very well could be very successful, but that still means they're only winning 9-ish or so games. And whether or not they get into the playoffs or not, and nobody wants to play a team with a defense as competent as Mike Macdonald's defense in the postseason. Wow. But the question mark becomes, don't forget, Sam Darnold led the NFL in turnovers last year. He had 20 turnovers. Nobody had more turnovers than Sam Darnold. He was a problem last season until they corrected it into the playoffs.
All right. So I heard this last night. First of all, he was a problem until the playoffs. They went 14-3.
He's won 31 games in 2 years.
He's
won 31 games.
There were too many turnovers. I'm not gonna, I mean, I said it as much as anybody.
Sure.
He was a problem? Like he was a net negative for the team? What? Yeah, you know what the problem the Seahawks had last year was just Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And it would have been a good team. And that 14-3, they probably would have gone 17-0. But unfortunately, they had stupid Sam Darnold. Guy couldn't throw. Come on. It was a problem for the team until the playoffs? Okay, well, first of all, the playoffs are pretty freaking relevant. And second of all, it was a problem? Yeah, it wasn't great. He turned the ball over too often. I am, believe me, no one says it more than me. And I'm probably the one, certainly on this show, who has the most reservations about paying Sam huge money long term. But
problem?
It was a problem? They were 14-3.
So
Genius.
His receiver was a player of the year in the NFL.
But it was
who threw him the ball then?
Yeah, you know what was kind of a problem last year was the Seahawks passing game.
Who threw him the ball?
It was a problem.
Was that a lot of Drew Lock and Jalen Milroe? Like, who threw him the ball?
That one really got me. It really did. So, all right. In order to believe Warren Sharp, and I guess to some extent Bucky Brooks, in order to believe that they are a fringe playoff team, I think you have to believe at least a few, if not all four of these things. One, you have to believe that Sam just isn't good.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to believe that. You just have to look at it and say, I'm sorry, Sam Darnold isn't good. It's ignoring the last 2 years of evidence. It's certainly ignoring what we all watched together here in Seattle last year. But you have to believe that Sam Darnold just isn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he's not great, not that he's not elite. You have to believe that Sam Darnold is a problem. I can't get there. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to sit here and tell you Sam's an elite quarterback. But the idea that he's a quote-unquote problem is asinine. Number two, you have to believe that Clint Kubiak was great and Brian Fleury is bad.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe both of those things. Mm-hmm. Not just that Clint was great, because it's possible Brian Fleury could be at least good. You have to believe that Clint was great and Fleury is bad. And Warren Sharp kind of went down that road.
He's no longer there. He's down in Las Vegas coaching the Raiders. That's going to be a big-time problem for this offense. And then I do have worries about their running back competency this year. We know Charbonnet's not going to start the season, but Jadarian Price doesn't have a lot of experience catching the ball out of the backfield as a pass protector. Who do they have really that they have a lot of confidence in there? I think the run game takes a step back. I'm worried about the lack of the play caller. I think that there are legitimate concerns here for the Seahawks in 2026.
Okay, so you have to believe that Clint Kubiak was a huge difference maker last year, which might be true. Mm-hmm. And you have to believe that Brian Fleury is not going to be one, that he's going to be a net negative, much like Sam, that the two of them are net negatives. I don't know how you have any evidence of that. Well, wait and see. I got question marks about Fleury, but they're question marks. They're not assumptions that he can't do it.
By the way, with the Jadarian Price pass catching thing, to me that would be a bonus. But the Seahawks, that's never been a big part of their. They had the second fewest passes to their running backs of any team in the league last year.
Number three, you have to believe that the Seahawks just weren't much better than a fringe playoff team last year.
Right.
That they got lucky. Right? Like, in order to believe that a team that brings back most of what it had last year, you have to believe that they just weren't very good last year.
Honestly, as I'm listening to all this, I'm thinking of the Denver Broncos. I'm thinking, did Warren just kind of get mixed up a little bit with the Denver Broncos? Because go through these things. Number one, you've got to believe that Bo Nix is really was a 26 rated quarterback in the league with the pass efficiency. That all those fourth quarter comebacks are kind of fluky, but his numbers down the field, his pass efficiency numbers are 26 in the league with an 87 passer rating. So you got to kind of believe that he's not that great. Oh, and Sean Payton's turning over the play calling. Sean Payton, who's won Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Sean Payton, who's been one of the most esteemed play callers for decades and decades, right? And Hall of Fame players galore. He's turning it over to 30-year-old Davis Webb, who was a QB coach, not even a coordinator, like never called a play in his life. And, oh, by the way, Denver was a team that had 11 one-score victories. 11. Most of them in the fourth quarter turnarounds. That's a fringe. Like, if you want to make this whole argument about a team, it would be the team in the Rocky Mountains, not this team. How many one-score? Well, skin of their teeth in that one. No, if anything, they were blowing everybody out. The scores at the end of it versus Arizona, versus Tennessee, became one score at the very end. But you saw blowout after blowout after blowout, which you don't see in the NFL.
But you have to believe that it was all luck, that they were just a fringe playoff team who lucked into a couple wins last year. And I'm sorry, I watched the games. And now I'm rewatching the games, and I don't believe that.
Now you're a real dangerous animal. You're rewatching all of them.
I know.
Songs.
I'm very dangerous.
Now you got that memory.
That's right. I am dangerous. Number 4, you have to believe that injuries won't happen. You have to believe that the way these teams look today is the way they're going to look throughout the season, which might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but okay, fine. Like, that would be ignoring, how many years has the NFL been in business? It'd be ignoring every one of those years. 75 years? Like, how long has the NFL been around? It's been a while.
How many Super Bowls have we had?
I don't know. 50-something, 60-something, whatever, man. Like, you got to believe that none of those years happened and that this will be the year everyone stays healthy.
Right.
Dan Orlovsky's got to believe the same thing. I heard this from Dan yesterday.
Every team, there's always the health question for everybody. There's only so many teams that, if healthy, can win it. I think there's like 8 or 10 this year. No one sniffs the Rams. Not when it comes to the coaching and the talent, nobody.
That's right. The Rams, when 100% healthy, probably have the best top 22, 25 players in the league. But if anyone thinks that that's the way a season is going to go, they're insane.
Yep.
Dan Orlovsky should know as well as anyone. He's the guy who found himself playing in Indianapolis after Peyton Manning got hurt. Like, the Rams aren't going to be 100% healthy, so who gives a you-know-what they look like when they're totally healthy? What's that going to be, 2 games this year? 0? Like, where's your depth? You have to completely ignore all of the things the Seahawks did last year and all the reasons they won in order to believe that they're going to be a fringe playoff team this year. You have to ignore all of it.
Just fluky special teams. That 2-point conversion doesn't happen, Salk. I mean,
that's true. Yeah, then the Rams obviously win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The Seahawks aren't even going to play the Rams.
You, Warren. I appreciate all you guys for helping us invigorate a conversation. I really do.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go. We'll come right back. But, geez. The Seahawks and Rams don't even play until week 15 of the season. But I'm going to guess that at that point, all of the players on both teams will be totally healthy, and that's why the Rams are going to dominate that game.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Second-year guard, Gray Zabel. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning to you as well.
What will you notice from your position about the new offense?
Brian's came in and done an absolutely unbelievable job. He wants to build on what we already have, but put a new kind of little wrinkle to what he knows about football. And I think we're going to run the ball first, which I'm super excited about.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends down at People Come First Construction Group. You know that I love my acronyms. And PCF, you know by now, People Come First. They designed and built our outdoor living space some years ago. And Molly and I just absolutely loved it. And right now, they're making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. What does that mean, you ask? That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. Most people, by the way, who start with that design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted. It's a foundation. It's a blueprint. It's what you've dreamed of, and this offer is your first step. So do what we did. Get a hold of PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all those offer details like 50% off your custom professional design and architectural package at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer. What's it like to go through the cyberknife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When the heat's an 11, cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net.
Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, a day ago it looked bad, Brock. A day ago things looked pretty ugly for the Mariners, not going to lie. But you go into L.A., you face their all-star Jimmy Wrobleski, who's been awesome this year, left-hander, which has been your biggest problem. And what do? Oh, I don't know, smoke 5 home runs. I played you the Dom Canzone one, but this one might have been the most surprising.
The 3-2 swung on, cranked, left field, down the line, stay fair, off the foul pole, gone! Sail away, Rob Refsnyder. Welcome back. A 2-run home run, and the Mariners have the lead. It's 4-2.
Sail away is more like he was coming back into port.
I like it, Gary. I like it.
You like sail away.
He's kind of making it his own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, again, Enya is a little bit too much in my head.
Again, you should go with sticks.
I do. I need to go with sticks.
Yeah.
But Gary's owning that. And I'm
come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads. Yeah, okay, stick with that.
Now that's in my head.
There you go.
Good.
That should be much better.
What do you think Rob Refsnyder, his thought bubble was as he was rounding first and in the second? What do you think was popping out of his head as that ball goes yard for a 2-run bomb to give them the lead. And
I think he was thinking, I'm really glad that thing didn't go 2 feet farther left and miss a home run by a foot. I think he was real happy to see that thing hit the foul pole.
Well, you saw his comments to Adam Jude or Daniel Kramer beforehand about how how brutal he's been and how much he just wants to help this team.
By all accounts, Rob Refsnyder's like one of the world's great guys, hard worker, smart dude. Everybody loves him. This is not a guy who came here to collect.
Nope.
I mean, that's just not who he is. So, yeah, I feel happy for him. Look, I've always believed that Rob Refsnyder's a good player having a bad year. The players having bad years can turn it around. And hopefully last night he had a double after that, which, we talked about the reverse mulligan. That's kind of, okay, you hit a home run. Maybe you walked into one. All right, do it again. Bang. Hard hit double. Like, he hit the ball hard.
You ever done the reverse mulligan thing with Brady on the golf course?
I might do it soon. I think I've got Brady's big 40th birthday golf outing next Friday. I don't know if I'm in his group or not. I don't know if I'm close enough to Brady to get the call to be in his group. But, yeah, I would hope. Yeah, all right, Brady. Reverse mulligan.
Do it again.
Let's see you do that again. Very funny. Dom Canzone, though, obviously the huge story in this game.
He's put up some good at-bats. He's driven the ball, the big home run in Texas to give us the W there. And tonight, with a couple homers and the one to put us ahead that, he just continues to put good swings on the ball and hasn't missed them.
And there's Dan operating from the airplane.
The bunker at
the airplane
Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, the airplane hangar right there. Pretty cool. Game 2 tonight, Emerson Hancock with another lefty on the hill for the Dodgers, Eric Lauer.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Awesome to see Brendan Donovan crush a home run last night. Also, 2 hits for him. I know they'd like to get him back as soon as possible. Have to get his timing right, and hopefully that's the beginning of that because he struggled throughout the first week of his rehab, but now playing at AAA and starting to feel it maybe a little bit more. If they could use that bad, obviously. I mean, and it's not just what he brings, it's what he takes out of the lineup as well.
Yeah, JP is not right. You got 5 more games in 5 days. This is a 10 in 10 days. I mean, this is not, they're not really a breather after that off day last week. JP has got a wrist barking. Naylor, last night, he's flailing around late in the game with that wrist that is barking. Yeah, you'd like to see some reinforcements come, whether that is internal, comments about Arroyo, who continues to absolutely hit the leather off the ball at the AAA level, whether that's going to be through trade acquisition or a Brendan Donovan, who you saw spurts of early that was incredibly beneficial to this offense.
Meanwhile, look, they have other decisions to make at the major league level. We've talked about a possibility of a Luis Castillo deal, and maybe that happens, but Jeff Passan feeling much more confident in Emerson Hancock.
The Mariners would like to use a starting pitcher to go out and get a bat, preferably a right-handed hitting bat, not a whole lot of outfield help. Maybe they go for an infielder there. This also could be Luis Castillo, but he's owed $22.75 million.
Yeah, so more likely that it would be Hancock.
Yeah, and not my Eastlake Wolf. Because he was never an Eastlake Wolf.
No, he wasn't.
Eastlake High School.
And he's hurt now, too.
Yeah,
all the right-handed bats are hurt. They're all done.
So you got that meniscus.
They're just all done. Hey, also, I would play you this. This was Ken Rosenthal yesterday on Foul Territory. Not too impressed with the Bobby Maguianas firing.
It's going to be interesting to see how they approach this. I heard you guys talking on the break about the firing of the assistant hitting coach, effectively their third hitting coach. That, to me, obviously signaled that they are not happy with the current circumstances and that they want to clearly improve. I, like you guys, thought the move was weak, to say the least. Third hitting coach, really? But...
Wow.
Weak? I don't know. Wow. That's pretty
that sounded
sharp.
like? That sounded like one of Drago's handlers. When he was talking about, you Americans, you're weak. You're weak.
Timely reference.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
You're pathetic.
Seahawks have the day off today. They will ramp up. They're done with the ramp-up period. Now they can actually start, real practice moving forward.
Which is also pathetic.
It is?
And weak.
Why?
Because the first day of training camp in Cheney in 1999, you know what the first practice was? Full pads. And you know what we did? Scrimmage.
Well, if that were
the case... And you know what I did? Fumbled the snap from Jason McAdoo.
Well, if that were the case, I don't know if DeMarcus Lawrence would be back. if that was the type of training camp that they were still going through.
No water!
Instead, he explains why he returned.
I was very close. Went through a long off season of, going back and forth. Am I going to retire? Am I not? I think the one thing that helped me steady is it's easy to take over a kingdom. But the hard part is when you got the kingdom and now it's time to defend it. Are you going to, sit back and eat the fruits of your labor, or are you going to, start preparing and building up your walls and, making sure everything is structurally prepared to defend it?
All right. Love the quote. Is it easy to take over a kingdom?
Where did you get that from?
I don't know, but I don't think it's actually easy to take over a kingdom.
I hope it was from Dirty. I'd like to hear Dirty do that in his British accent.
Like actual, because they're, you might actually storm a castle.
Right.
Sure.
A lot of that went on over there.
You got to go over the
Scotland,
moat, and then you got to deal with
Ireland,
deal with the portcullis.
That feels like a Dirty kind of.
That's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Raise the portcullis.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Longshanks.
Is it easy to take over a kingdom?
Sure.
How?
A lot harder to keep the
I don't know if that's true.
Rebels out.
I don't know. Once you're there, like with a kingdom, you can start building up your defenses, and you get a lot of advantage, the high ground, the moat.
Yeah.
You got a moat, Brock.
Uh-huh.
It's storming the castle. It's hard. You don't have a moat. Good luck storming the castle. You think it'll work?
I don't know.
It'll take a miracle.
I kind of liked it. I like the confidence with which he said.
I'm going to reverse Mulligan Brady while he's on the show here in a minute. He's going to say something like, I don't know if I believe
that
you.
up.
Yeah, back that up. Give me a reverse Mulligan.
Come on,
Let's see you
Brady.
do that
Back
again,
that thing up.
Brady. Brady Henderson, next on Brock and Salk.
Just 5 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown. Just 5 days.
An additional bat would go a long way.
Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Highlights don't win games. The full box score does. I'm Brock Hewitt, and most business leaders aren't short on data. They're short on clarity. Numbers are scattered across ERP, CRMs, and spreadsheets, making decisions reactive instead of confident. And that's not how great businesses are built. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view, even if it lives in disconnected systems or offline, so you can see what's really happening and act faster. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to see what Marquee IQ can do.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take make your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the Seattle Sports app or go to seattlesports.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
That's seattlesports.com/win.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions. Seattle Sports.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Be all in on summer with service from Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland. Heading out on a road trip? Make sure your Toyota is ready to go during the Toyota Tires Savings Event. Save $100 on 4 eligible tires. And with an open service drive and no appointment necessary, getting expert Toyota service has never been easier. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. And make sure to check out their service specials page. Offers valid through July 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
O'Brien.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. There are only a few months left of good weather. Don't be the one left out in the rain. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this summer. If you want a licensed contractor that does the work right and backs it up with an industry-leading warranty, don't wait. Now offering a complimentary color consultation with a designer for specific projects. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What? I just don't like it. I don't know. I'm sorry. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports here on 710. What?
You don't say that to G. Scott on the way out?
He shaved the beard and he's got like a mustache. I don't like it. It's like a little pencil
We were chatting
mustache.
for 4 or 5 minutes, and at the very end, I said to G, like, oh, what went into taking the beard off? And what did Salk say? I don't like it.
I don't. I'm just trying to be honest with you. All right, go away.
right.
We'll deal with you on Friday. Brady
It's like
Henderson.
a mustache with a goatee.
I don't like it. What can I tell
Brady
you?
likes that intro music. I know that.
The Hitman?
Oh, yes, I do.
He
Brady?
loves the Hitman. What's up, dude?
What's up? Yeah, I was going to say, you're playing the heart attack music. I love it. Nothing gets us fired up like that.
You know about the reverse mulligan, Brady?
Yeah, I do. And you're not going to reverse mulligan me on this show because I only have so many answers where I feel like I'm not stumbling my way through them. So if anything, I might give myself a mulligan if I really screw one up. I'm going to say, you know what, dump that. Let me start over. But yeah.
Can we talk about what happened to you a couple days ago?
Whoa.
What happened to me a couple days ago?
On your birthday? Like how old you are now?
What?
Brady's 40.
Yeah.
What? Yes. Brady turned, doesn't it feel like just a few days ago Brady turned 30?
If you don't like G's mustache, Brady's rocking a stash at 40.
Yeah, I don't like that either. It's terrible. Looks
So
awful.
I was rocking that at 39, but yeah.
It's not a good look. But Brady, 40 years old. How do you feel? Do you feel older, wiser? How do you feel today? Because 40 got me.
I'm the number one feeling I have right now is soreness. I on this trip, one night I slept wrong, and this is 2 weeks later. My neck is still bothering me. I feel like I should be covering practice with a cowboy collar on or something, or a neck roll or something.
By the way, you should do that. I would like to see you covering practice wearing an old cowboy collar.
Or just an old neck brace.
Or like the full neck brace.
Yes. So
maybe a halo. I get some screws in my forehead.
So some are wondering. I was texting with some people last night. Some are wondering maybe at 40 you've just become empathetic and compassionate, because in your mailbag yesterday you're just praising Anthony Bradford like he's the second coming of Steve Hutchinson. I mean, really?
I think I would say that's a slight exaggeration. What I wrote, for the record, is that he was in the one-on-one pass rush drill, which, by the way, they're doing that now even before they put the pads on. So maybe not quite as intense as it will be starting Thursday. But of the 4 reps that he had, he was the most impressive player on either side of the ball. Had two, I would say, pretty clear wins against Riley Mills.
I'm reading from the article, and I quote, he looked like Larry Allen. He looked like a future Hall of Famer.
Wow.
He looked like a second coming.
Hey, I don't remember writing that part, actually.
Well, reverse mulligan here, Brady. Back this up on Anthony Bradford. Why is he so great?
Well, I mean, first of all, you guys are putting words in my mouth. But I will say this. These words will come out of my mouth, as I still think he's the favorite to start at right guard. And obviously they drafted Bo Stevens with a thought that, he could push Anthony Bradford, but I think I wrote from the jump, and I still feel like this, that Bradford is the favorite. Now, is he going to be here beyond this season? I don't know, but I think for the here and now, I'm still putting him in the starting lineup.
In all seriousness, and I forget who was on with us the other day. Maybe Daniel Jeremiah or somebody was like, no, Breer. I'll let you guys figure out the right guard situation. In all seriousness, like, does he look any different? And I know it's been 3 or 4 days, and it will be a big determinant when the pads come on tomorrow, and can he sustain for drives and everything else. But in a contract year, does he look or feel any different to your eye?
To my eye, not really. No, I mean, just other than seeing those 4 reps where he looked very good. I mean, body shape wise, I wouldn't say he looks noticeably different. I do know that during the off season, shortly after the Super Bowl, he went down to, I think it's Frisco, Texas, to train with a guy named Duke Manyweather, who is sort of, one of the O-line gurus, if you will, O-line trainers and teachers. Certain guys have quarterback coaches. This is one of the well-known kind of O-line coaches. And to me, that just sounded like, a guy who realizes the position that he's in, going into year 4, going into a contract year. Obviously, the play has been very up and down. And he seems to realize what's at stake. And, the early, what I heard early on, right at the start of the offseason program was that, he came back in good shape and looking like he had taken the offseason seriously.
Who has jumped out to you in terms of, okay, they changed their body. They look like a different player maybe than they did last year?
Nobody stands out in that regard. And I admittedly, I do not have as keen of an eye for that as your co-host does. And maybe there are. I've sort of been looking for that because I have known that at some point or I thought it was going to be Brock.
Yeah.
But, I figured I was going to get asked.
I had the question written down. Right on my notes
no one really stands out in that regard. I will tell you this. One of the takeaways for me over the first, 4 practices of training camp is how well Jadarian Price is catching the ball.
Agreed.
And, that was one of the question marks after he only caught, I think it was 15 passes over 3 seasons in college. But that is really starting to look like less of a product of, hey, this guy was, not all that useful in that part of the game, and more of a product of the fact that Jeremiah Love did that and pretty much everything else well. So he had, he beat Ernest Jones out of the backfield and hauled in a touchdown pass from Sam Darnold the other day. He's made some tough catches, sliding to catch a low pass from Jalen Milroe, outstretched ball from Darnold that was a little bit wide that he made. So he's just catching everything, and it seems to me like they're giving him a lot of opportunities just to see, like, hey, is this something that you can help out in?
I'm glad you said that, Brady, because it brings up one of these things that is just frustrating me more and more over the last few years. Is people taking the word question marks and turning it into negatives. There's a legitimate question as to whether or not Jadarian Price can catch the ball because he's not done it much. That doesn't mean Jadarian Price is bad at catching the ball. There is a legitimate question mark about whether or not Brian Fleury is going to be good at calling plays as a first-time play caller. That doesn't mean he's going to be bad at it. There is a difference between this is a problem and a hole that the team has to deal with, and this is something we don't know yet about the team because the person hasn't done it before. And I love your answer on it. I think it's great to hear that Price has been really good at it. I'm psyched about that. That's cool. But it's an answer of a question as opposed to the turning of a negative.
Yeah, well, boy, Mike, we could talk for hours about this, but I think it's probably maybe something of a function of just the sort of world that we live in, where if you're an observer of a sport or an athlete, that guy is either trash or he's the GOAT, and there's a lot of times there's nothing in between. With I'm just talking about the people who just comment on things at a very, very surface level, and so. Yeah, there is a lot of in between there, and I think this is a good example of that. He's not. I don't know if he's good at it. I don't know that he's going to be bad at it. It's a question mark, and sometimes you really have to just wait and see and let it play out.
What's fun about that is right before you came on, before Salk insulted, or after you insulted Scott about his mustache look right now, we were commenting on how Jadarian, that touchdown he caught yesterday on the wheel route down the sideline, like he slowed down just enough body control and then kind of dipped his shoulder back to catch it over the shoulder. Like, that's pretty high-level running back stuff. So we were just, and Salk and I were just kind of going through that exact point that skill set has manifested, and you've seen him make plays. A little more black and white question. You were there in the scrum yesterday when Leonard Williams was asked this.
I mean, there's been a few conversations, but nothing set in stone. I think we're all focused on, the season starting right now. And, we know that that's towards the end of the season. We have time to figure that out when the time comes.
Final year of his deal. DeAndre Carter gets his big money yesterday. Obviously, Byron Murphy's going to be a conversation if he backs up what he did, reverse mulligan style here in 26, what he did in 25. What about Leonard Williams?
Well, I think the answer there was telling that it is something that they have discussed. And look, I don't think you have those discussions unless. I mean, they're not going to have those discussions unless they want to do a deal. And so I do think something gets done, and I don't know. I have no idea on the timing of that, but just hearing him talk about that, and also just knowing just the situation. I mean, you could logically look at it and say, okay, he's in the last year of his deal. He is an older player, but he's still playing at an exceptionally high level. And he's a guy who, I think it's been pretty clear over the years, takes really good care of his body. There hasn't really been a real durability question with him. And I think beyond that, like, this is the kind of guy that represents, he is one of a handful of guys that is probably the best type of representation of who they are and what they want to be. Not a look at me guy, just a guy who is unselfish and really buys into that MOB kind of approach. And the mission over BS, and he is still a game-wrecking player at 32 years old. So, yeah, hearing that tells me that something is probably going to get
his
done.
last deal was what, Brady? Was this the third year? Is this the final 3 of the 3-year deal he signed previous?
Yeah. So remember when they traded for him midway through the 23 season, he just had that year left on his contract. So he, I think, got to free agency or got to the eve of free agency, whatever it was, and they signed him to a 3-year, $63.5 million deal, something like that, 64.5, whatever it was. So, he has 1 year left on the deal, and you just saw what the top of the market looks like now with Jalen Carter. I wouldn't anticipate Leonard Williams' deal I wouldn't guess it's going to be in that neighborhood again. I have no intel on that part of it, but I think there's a sweet spot there to where you can sort of recognize, hey, you are, 32 years old, but still a game-wrecking player and still a huge part of just the culture that they have there.
So, Brady, how does that work then when next off season or at the end of this upcoming season, you're probably going to have to talk to both Sam Darnold and maybe more relevantly to this conversation, Byron Murphy? How does that affect a Leonard Williams conversation, and then how does Leonard affect the other two big conversations that are coming?
There's always a way, and we could talk about, well, there's a lot of money tied up in one part of the field. Well, I mean, if you look at the receiver core right now, there's a lot of money tied up in that part of it with, JSN making $40+ million a year, Cooper Kupp $15 million a year. Shaheed is, $17 million a year. So, by this point next offseason, maybe Cooper Kupp's contract is off the books. It's just this evolving thing where, money is going to get freed up. They didn't have any cap casualties this offseason, which was a huge deal. And part of the whole idea of, they were able to bring back a lot more players than people realize. People sort of focused on the 4 guys that they lost, or I guess in some cases that they let leave in free agency. But they brought a huge chunk of their team back. And, this is a very healthy salary cap situation that they have. It is going to get tougher. But there's, I think money is going to get opened up and they'll find a way. They're not going to let anything happen to Byron Murphy. I imagine that at this time next season, we'll be talking about Sam Darnold having signed a new contract. So, I don't know that, and we'll, talk about wait and see. I mean, there's a whole season that has to happen between now and then, and we'll see. But I don't think signing Leonard Williams is really going to keep them from doing a whole lot that they would really want to do.
Your first year on the beat doing this at ESPN was what year?
2017.
2017. So you didn't really have a chance to see like the Super Bowl winners and how they handled that the very next. I mean, you were with us. You were in our building kind of covering all of that. Do you have any feel for how this team would you, if you brain taken out of your head and you had no idea, you were an alien coming into this deal and you did not know they won the Super Bowl last year, would you have any sense of that with just the first week or so here of camp?
If I was lobotomized and I was out there with no memory,
yes.
That's a good question.
I get paid to ask good questions, Brady. That's what I get paid to do.
Yeah, maybe not. No, I mean, it comes up obviously in the post-practice press conferences when that Greg Bell asked a great question the other day about to Ernest Jones about, hey, do you, as somebody who's been through this before, do you have to have your antenna up for complacency that naturally might set in after you win a Super Bowl? And I frankly can't really remember what he said. I think he said yes, but I mean, it comes up beyond that. I don't think you would. I mean, they don't really carry themselves like they are hot stuff. It just kind of seems businesslike, and I don't really remember what it was like back in 2014 when they were coming off the Super Bowl. I don't really remember the vibe. It was just such a different group that I think naturally it was going to be different. But no, to answer your question, I don't think you would know that. It seems kind of business as usual, which is a phrase you hear quite often around there.
The one thing you would notice, though, is the Hard Knocks cameras. I don't care how many lobotomies you'd have. Like, you can't help but notice all the people walking around with Hard Knocks T-shirts and the cameras. What do you believe has been the effect of Hard Knocks and will be the effect over the course of the next few weeks?
Maybe I think one effect, maybe I'm curious to see what this sounds like when the show starts airing is, maybe Mike McDonald is a little bit more mindful of, sort of how he comes off and how he coaches. I mean, he is a stern, he can be, when he's not happy with what's going on, you can tell. And so, maybe he sort of watches his mouth a little bit. Not that he's cursing like a sailor or anything like that, but I wonder if maybe there's a little bit of filtering that happens there. But this is a reason why I think this has a chance to be a pretty good season of Hard Knocks, is because this is a very genuine group of players. And I think back to a couple years ago when the Seahawks brought Luke Wilson back. Remember, he had been with the Raiders who were on Hard Knocks, and he was talking to us about how, it was evident how some guys would just sort of, when the camera was on, it would sort of put on this act just to try to get attention on Hard Knocks. And, I think if you watch that, like, some people with maybe a less keen eye might eat that up and be entertained by it. But if you can see right through it, I think that becomes kind of cringeworthy, honestly. And we've seen people on remember the guy who pretended like you didn't know how to pronounce the word salmon? Like that, some people found that entertaining. I thought it was just kind of cringeworthy, but I don't think you're going to get that because to me, does not seem like a group that really goes out of its way to seek attention. And it just seems like genuine guys. And maybe you don't have as many of those, kind of class clown comedic type guys, but you have a lot of genuine guys that, are just entertaining people in their own right. And I think Hard Knocks, there's plenty of guys that I think they can capture that list.
All right. Like who? Who will be who will be a natural, authentic Hard Knocks fit?
Well, funny you should ask. I talked to a guy named Jalen Gaines yesterday. So he's a second-year undrafted player. And if there was ever a story that was like tailor-made for Hard Knocks, I think it's this guy. So undrafted last year, plays well in the, training camp, gets hurt in the preseason, ends up getting cut, and he doesn't get picked up. And, he has a family with, I think, 2 young kids. And he went to work at Costco, I think in Tukwila, and he was, working 3:30 to 11, working out in the morning, meal prepping, going to work until late at night and doing it all over again the next day. And he told me that he lives, or at least at the time, he lived across the freeway or the 405 from the VMAC, and he talked about how he could see that Big 12 flag on the outside of the indoor practice facility, and it always felt like the NFL was within reach, and that's what kept him motivated. And really just a really humble, grounded, down-to-earth guy who tell me that's not the exact kind of guy who ends up, becoming a Hard Knocks darling and gets everybody rooting for him.
What?
No, I'm just imagining, Liev Schreiber being like, "Come with us to Costco," right? And he's walking through the whole deal. Well, hi, Fran. Hi, Billy. Like they're kind of like I can see it. You're absolutely right.
Well, the other Jalen you were.
He gave a huge shout out to all the people at Costco.
I bet he did.
Them for helping him get to
Has
where
he given
is.
out
He said
samples?
When the Seahawks re-signed him in February, it was one of the best days of his life.
Yeah,
so.
He's like, no, I like when I'm on the sample tray. I'm giving out like little bits of peanut butter on a cracker. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Well, the other Jalen you did write about yesterday, and I'm reading from your mailbag a couple days ago, Jalen Milroe, the most talented player on the field, the biggest, fastest, strongest, most electric arm you're ever going to see, finally putting the pieces together, throwing some touchdowns yesterday, Brady. In all seriousness, you didn't write any of that. But you did say, he had a couple nice touchdowns and maybe a rough start, a rough offseason, but maybe putting the pieces together the last couple days.
Yeah, well, yesterday I thought was a really good bounce back, and he the practice on Monday ended like the final play was an interception he threw in the end zone, and it to me I didn't see a replay of it, but at first glance it looked more like just a gift from the quarterback as opposed to a great play made by the defender, and you heard Mike McDonald say afterwards that really wish they had finished practice better. And he was better yesterday. There was a throw he made. I think it was 7-on-7 where it's a design rollout to his left, and he throws back across his body downfield to Eric Saubert. He had the touchdown pass that we talked about earlier to Jadarian Price. And, man, it's like the issue with him is not one of talent because there is a very quick release. You know about the speed. Yeah. But the release is very quick. He can not that I am a quarterback expert by any means, but he can get a lot of zip on the ball despite not really having his feet set, which maybe gets him in trouble at times. I don't know, but if he can clean up the accuracy,
it's not the highlight reel, right? It's a low light reel. It's raising the floor. It's not the ceiling. It's raising that floor.
Well, speaking of that, I got a text here from the 509 saying, "Dude, Brady's a 7.2 handicap, but he just fired off back-to-back 74s. Sandbagger."
Oh.
Who is looking? Who is that? Send me that number. Who is?
No, I'm not sending it to you. There's right to privacy concerns here.
That's illegal. That's a felony.
I guess you can look it up.
Someone's
on the
looking
website.
it up on your GIN. Wow.
What's up with that?
7.2 handicap with back-to-back 74s. Where did those two 74s take place?
Brady, Sandbagger, Henderson.
Well, I want to say
now on the tee, he plays out of Inglewood. Brady, Sandbagger, Henderson. Everybody.
Well, one of them was the last one was at Chambers Bay. I did shoot 74 at Chambers Bay. There's been 3 74s within the last couple of weeks. One of them was at Linwood Golf Course. Linwood, TPC, Linwood.
Sure.
Linwood Golf and Country Club, which is like a par 65 or something. But then there was another
Nile. The Nile.
Yeah.
Sister course of the Nile.
Sister course. Yes. All right.
Brady,
you figure out what group I'm in yet for the big 40th celebration? I just want to make sure that, I have am I playing with you? Did I make that cut? Like, where am I at?
No, well, I had some fun putting this together last night. I don't think you're going to be playing with me because I think the people who are playing with me we're going to put a few bucks on it. But I got you in a good group. I had some fun putting the foursomes together, and the main idea is, okay, which of my friends are going to be repulsed by my other friends? So I'm going to try to keep them away from each other.
What's the one with the funny nickname, Turd Burglar or something? What's that guy's name?
Turd Burglar. Poop Dog.
Poop Dog. Is Poop Dog? Is Poop Dog in Salk's crew?
He's not going to be able to make it. Unfortunately, he's got a full house at home. So yeah.
Yeah, Poop Dog has kids now. Brock, he grew up. Brady's 40. He's not 28 anymore. He's 40 years old. Brady, thank you. Great stuff. No more reverse mulligans. We'll talk later. See you, buddy.
See you tomorrow.
All right, thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow. There's Brady Henderson, of course, intrepid ESPN reporter who I don't know why he even consents to coming on this show with us, but only because we've known each other a long time. Does Brady even bother to come on with us jackals anymore?
So they're talking. Leonard, the biggest news.
That's cool news.
Yeah, they're talking.
Yeah,
and he's absolutely right. If we've learned one thing, maybe back in the day, Salk, 15, 20 years ago, John's database, the professors and all the numbers and all of that stuff, maybe a little more rigid. Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is so fluid in the way that the Eagles do their business and the Rams do the business and the cash versus the cap and when can you spend. He's right. Like if you want it to get done, it can get done. So right now.
Yep.
Because the thing tends to be a lot more fluid than I think we read on those websites every now and then.
All right, we got an hour to go. At 9:30, it's the Seahawks win coming out of the bye week over the Commanders. They dominated that game and was really the beginning of a stretch of some great dominance for this team. It's so fun going back and watching these, although I don't know, the highlights of this one weren't it was not a big, well, there's one or two. There's some pretty good highlights of this one. We'll talk about that at 9:30. Up next, though, we maybe witnessed something important last night, or maybe what we saw was nothing more than a fleeting breath of nothingness. We'll find out, but it's next on Brock and Salk.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Put in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
A luxury ranch estate that overlooks its own lake? The Stillwater Ranch blends refined living, recreation, and income-producing land just minutes from Spokane. Explore this ranch and more at FayRanches.com.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the Seattle Sports app or go to seattlesports.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
That's seattlesports.com/win.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! What does it mean? I know what I saw. I want to know what it means.
You saw a heck of a ball game.
What did this mean?
Here's the pitch. Swung on, cranked, center field. It's hammered. It's on its way. It is sail away. Dom Canzone, dead center field. We are tied again. Home run derby for the Mariners. Their 4th of the night. 5-5. Mariners and Dodgers.
Okay, I know what I saw. That was the first of 2 from Dom Canzone. I'm still not sure I know what it means. I saw this too.
The offer. Swung on, cranked, left field, a no-doubter. It's gonna go, gone. Julio, a solo home run.
Yeah, and I even saw this.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and blasted left field. This is going to go. How far? Gone. Cal Cal Raleigh, a no-doubter to left field.
No doubter seemed to be the word of the day, and he's accurate on all of them. They were no doubters. They were crushed. Outfielder barely moved on both. Like, yeah, that's gone. I'm going to turn around and look at that. So the Mariners showed up yesterday. They played clean baseball. They found a way to win. They hit 5 home runs. They scored 7.
The ninth inning wasn't real clean.
No.
JP not getting that ball. And Robles fumbling back. Not real clean in ninth. But everything else was really clean.
I Larry Salked it last night.
Oh, you did.
I went to bed at the
No,
end
you
of the
did not.
eighth.
You're lying.
I did.
No
I went
way.
upstairs.
Don't believe it.
I did.
Are you being dead honest?
I'm being 100%.
Like you were to G about his stash.
I was like, I don't have this in me. I'm going upstairs. It's Larry Salk roll time. I just Larry Salked it last night. Like I just didn't
Once
have it in
Dom
me.
hit the home run, you're out.
Yeah, it's like they're up 2. They're heading into they're bringing in Munoz. I don't have this in me. I don't want to watch this. I'm out. And so I went upstairs and I checked in. I wasn't asleep yet, but So I didn't see that.
Didn't see those.
As far as I could tell, the game was clean.
Perfect.
Why? Did they show up for Dan last night? Can you even do that? Like,
I mean, wouldn't that, if you were to write on the list and you knew, like if you actually were to know, and they don't know because it's baseball, so nobody knows, but if you were to write down on your wish list as a Mariner fan, why that kind of effort? Why that kind of production? Why 5 home runs last night? Why did he do something to their left-handed all-star pitcher and find a way to beat the best roster in baseball? Wouldn't you, as a Mariner, to portend good things for the next 2 months of the year, wouldn't you want that answer to be? Because we're hearing the noise. And enough is enough. And we're doing this for Dan. Dan cares about us. Dan's not perfect, but he's got grace. Dan has our back. And we're sick and tired of being, one of the most disappointing teams in baseball.
Yeah, and I don't think they would have heard the noise. Honestly, I don't think it would get to them yesterday. The noise that was here in town.
They heard some of the boo birds on their way out of town.
I know, but I don't know
They went to Texas and lost 3 of 4.
As I was going to say, I don't think that they heard the noise yesterday. I think they probably felt it.
There you go.
I don't think they heard that people were having conversation. I don't think they knew that Jeff Passan came on the show yesterday and was like,
that's
hey,
fair.
it's time to fire Dan. Like, I don't think that happened. Do I think that they're smart guys who understand the game and look around and know Jerry's on the road trip and say, hey, we remember what happened here in L.A. a couple of years ago where they laid an egg and their manager got fired a couple days later. And if we don't want that to happen again, we better step up our game. Like, this is now at a point where it is a critical juncture. I also don't even know if last night means much because they could turn around and be right back to where they were tonight and tomorrow.
Correct. Along those lines, how many of them you think feel the trade deadline looming Monday? Do you think in your years of watching this and covering this that they're...
Most of them.
Most of them know, right?
Yeah, they know.
And they've had enough incidents here through the
Kirby
years
knows,
from Seawald
Hancock
and
knows,
others.
and Luis knows. Like,
Julio
those guys
knows.
know.
And,
They know. Yeah.
Yep. And Emerson may know today, hey, this might be the last time I throw as a Mariner.
Yeah, they know. They're aware.
Not that you have to press. And actually, I think you have to fight all that human nature and just say, yeah, just go do my job. Those things are all out of my control. Control the controllables.
I'll tell you, man, just because you brought it up there, you think about the 2 deadline deals Jerry has made that made the players mad. There were 2.
Yep.
Right? The first... It turned out to be a mess. Like, it's really, I understand what he was thinking, but
it's the Toro.
Yeah, it's Abe Toro for Kendall Graveman.
Guy.
Like, it's really hard to look back at that one now and be like, yeah, he blew it. And I think Jerry would raise his hand and be like, look, I knew I didn't think Graveman was real. It was probably not going to continue, and it didn't really. But we thought we were doing the best thing for the team. Okay, like I would think Jerry would raise his hand and be like, yeah, I wish I could have that one over. You look at the deal he made for Paul Sewald now, and that was, if I remember it right, Paul Sewald for Josh, the little third baseman, Josh. He played third base here for a couple of years.
Little dirtbag.
Yeah, decent player.
Yeah,
but ultimately limited.
Rojas?
No.
Ryan
Bliss. And Dom Canzone.
Yep.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were a little mad at the time. Right, players. Sewald was a little upset that he had been dealt, but I think you look at that now and you say, "Yeah, well done."
Yeah.
Like that was one heck of a deal. Getting Canzone out of that, who right now is like the reason you are where you are. He's been arguably the best hitter on the team this year. Bliss has not done a whole lot, but okay. And Josh had a couple of years of starting time. He's a decent enough player. I also remember that team said to themselves after the deadline, we didn't do enough. Yeah, all right. It stinks that they didn't believe in us enough to add. Instead, they traded away Paul Sewald. But we blew it. We didn't play well enough to deserve. And this team is going to be in the exact same situation if they don't pick it up here in the last week. So could some of it be a sense of urgency around the trade deadline, not because they're aware of whose it might be the last for? Josh Rojas, thank you.
I just said Rojas.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and you
I'm sorry.
Me.
I didn't hear you. Honestly, I didn't hear you.
Oh.
I thought you meant a pitch. Like, there was also a pitcher, Rojas. Sorry about that. Yeah, Josh Rojas. My bad. My bad. Hey, my bad. My bad. My bad. It's on me.
Mm-hmm.
Does this team look at it and say, hey, if we don't do something in the next week, now the next few days, we're not going to get any help. In fact, they might disassemble this thing.
Mm-hmm. But the hardest part of all of that, it's not that I can buckle my chin strap tighter and I can spat my cleats better and I can run through contact more and I can sacrifice myself physically more.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it is just do what you're capable of doing. Just play to some of your capabilities. Now, I think for some, it's a little hard. And good on JP to get it out last night. I hope we get some intel on what...
he wasn't even supposed to be in there last night.
No, and you watch his swings, and you know that wrist is not right.
Yeah, well, obviously something else went on with Colt Emerson. I assume we will find out today.
I would think so.
I don't know what happened last night, but I would guess all the reporters were so busy dealing with the incredible back-and-forth game that literally probably forgot about Colt Emerson. But I'm sure we'll get some answers on that today and find out how serious that is. But with Brendan Donovan coming back... there's a real question about where Colt Emerson, I think, is going to be in a few days. So we'll find out. All of the Mariners are going to have a lot of decisions to make over the course of the next week. Who stays, who goes. For all the conversation around Dan, Jeff was very clear yesterday. He had been told, and I think everything Jeff said was straight from sources and people he knows inside the organization, both on and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Dan's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But could other people? Could there be changes made to change the mix of either the chemistry on or off the field for this team? I think it's a real question.
I do. And these next 5 games and 2 more in L.A. and then a home series with Minnesota, who, by the way, is 500.
Colt Emerson still going to be your shortstop in a few days? Or do you need to move some things around so that he's there sometimes, but maybe it's Michael Arroyo. Maybe it's Brendan Donovan coming back. Is Rob Refsnyder still a part of this thing?
Is there an opportunity to go big?
How does Randy fit in? How does Luke fit in?
Is there an opportunity to go big? Right? They I put out a little poll last night. What do you think happens in this series with the Dodgers? You sweep them? You get swept? You win 2? You lose? You win 1? Like,
this game is so weird. They have the pitching matchup advantage in both of the next 2 starts. Doesn't mean they're going to go right. They didn't have the pitching matchup advantage last night, and they end up winning that one. So it is a weird game. It is highly unpredictable, but at the end of it, we'll see exactly how this looks and the big decision they've got to make. Game 8 of the season, week 9 of the Seahawks season, coming up in 20 minutes. One of their first big blowouts. Not the first one, but the one that really seemed to get them moving in that direction. Yeah. Some fun highlights in 20 after everything you need to know next.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Second-year guard, Gray Zabel. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning to you as well.
What will you notice from your position about the new offense?
Brian's came in and done an absolutely unbelievable job. He wants to build on what we already have, but put a new kind of little wrinkle to what he knows about football. And I think we're going to run the ball first, which I'm super excited about.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
All right, well, training camp is here. The team looks ready. They're in shape. It's clear the guys took the offseason seriously. And as they prepare to have all cylinders pumping on September 9th, can you make the changes in your life to be your best by that first game? Well, Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can certainly help. And by help, I mean give you a proven plan to lose 30 to 40 pounds by the start of the season. And naturally, no pills, no injections, no side effects. People across Western Washington have lost a ton of weight and become a healthy and happy version of themselves with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Personally, I dropped 35 pounds in 8 weeks. That could be you before the end of the summer. And all it takes to start is a free 15-minute phone consultation. Find out if it's right for you. Schedule yours at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Schedule it for when you're in the car, commuting to work, or just running errands, because the only thing you have to lose is the weight itself. Do what I did. Call Eastside Weight Loss Clinic and go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Immaculate greens, unrivaled natural beauty, championship caliber conditions. Bump letting you know Loomis Trail is the epitome of Northwest golf. With water in play on every hole and tree-lined fairways, you better hit them straight. Loomis Trail provides a fantastic golf experience for those who want a challenge and those looking for a fun getaway. What round are you up for? Tee times available online at golfloomis.com. Start planning your perfect golf getaway today. After the round, enjoy a stay at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Go to golfloomis.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
50 seasons, 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50-season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the Big Unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
My, oh my!
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Cascade Machinery and Electric is the Northwest's trusted industrial equipment expert, and they're hiring outside sales reps, manual and job shop machinists, and field service technicians now. Each position offers competitive pay, full benefits, and a career with a company that values hard work and loyalty. Come join the team that has set the standard in industrial sales and service for over 100 years. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers. Don't wait. Apply today.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are all in on celebrating savings all July long. Lease a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for $327 a month, or spend the summer in a 2026 4Runner SR5, leasing at $387 a month. Both vehicles lease for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Go all in this summer at Toyota, whether you're in the north or the south. Visit them at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com. Offers valid through August 3rd, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and a $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, man, what a difference. Fun to play some of those highlights from last night. As bad as everything felt yesterday, it sure feels a whole lot better today. Waking up in the morning, knowing that the Mariners hit 5 home runs.
Here comes the pitch. Swung on, hit high, deep, center field. Has he done it again? Warning track wall. Sail away, Dom Canzone. He has done it again. His second home run of the night.
Yeah, it was a really big one, and they needed both of those runs. Julio getting on and stealing a bag. Right before that, Munoz hanging on at the end. I tuned back in. I think I told you. Like, you're watching, like, you don't watch Mookie Betts hit a little bloop single. When he hit the foul ball in off his hands, did you think that was going to be a little bloop single to right field? Because I kind of did. I was like, oh, that might just be a little bloop single to right. It's going to score both runs. This whole thing is going to be for naught. Instead, they get the win. It was a big one. And, yeah, I think afterwards, Dan feeling really good about the bats.
Offensively, a lot of great things today. 5 homers, chance to drive the ball out of the ballpark here. Ref coming back and getting one off the foul pole. Julio, Cal, Dom with the 2. Just huge lifts in those moments, and that was a great win tonight. One to build on, and come back tomorrow and do it again.
It was a great win. Now on the other side of it was Luis Castillo. And you were watching the game, right? You watched most of the game.
I watched the whole game.
I'm watching Luis last night. He generates a ton of swings and misses. He has some real, and he seems really hard to hit, and then they absolutely clobber the next one. I don't know what that is. Is that command? Is that inconsistency? I can't get a firm read. Look, the Dodgers lineup is also really, really good.
Yep.
But he got him. That game, he gave up, 4 or 5 runs? 5?
11 hits.
It looked like he was going to give up 20.
Look, he gave up 11 hits and 2 walks.
I know.
That would be a whip of almost 3.
He found ways to limit the damage, though. Same was true in the last game.
We got the double play with the bases loaded, nobody out. That was
got a couple long fly balls that didn't leave the yard. He is a confounding pitcher for me at times.
He is, but the whole argument I think we had the other day about who do you put into the pen. If you keep it and you can't move one of them. The obvious metrics and the deeper dive metrics tell you that's the guy that's got to go. Because even last night, he's throwing 97 in on their hands.
I know.
I mean, if he's got to ramp it up for an inning and not have to go through a lineup 2 or 3 times.
Can we stop calling a 2-seamer a sinker now? Can we just stop with that? They used to be the same thing. A sinker ball pitcher was 2-seamer that sunk, right? And it led to a lot of ground balls because it would sink at the end to the bottom of the zone.
Okay.
2-seamers now have a lot more arm side run than they do just straight up sink. They're awesome. I think they are such a cool, if I were a hitter.
So Edward Bizardo's 2-seamer and Luis Castillo's 2-seamer, both sinkers?
They call Luis a sinker. I don't view it as a sinker because it doesn't really sink. It attacks the hands of a righty.
Bores it.
Which to me is more, it's a running fastball. It's a 2-seamer. I just feel like the name could be updated. That's all right. Game 2 tonight. Emerson Hancock and Eric Lauer.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, Brendan Donovan yesterday finally showing a little something. He moved up to AAA, playing for the Rainiers, went 2 for 5 with this.
3-1 is clubbed in the air. Deep right field. That ball is way back. It is out of here. Brendan Donovan leaves the yard. A solo smash to deep right field. And it is 7-3 Tacoma in the 6th.
You know what's remarkable is that guy was the cherry on top. That guy was the icing. That guy was our friend in the morning show that precedes us. Her favorite player in St. Louis. Every national talking head before the season, that's a great move. Oh, that's going to be the one. Oh, that's the guy.
And it looked it right at the beginning.
First month of the season, he was your best offensive player. And then we're 110 games into this thing, close to it. And he's not been around for 70 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you just kind of forget about that amongst some of the other struggles and inconsistencies. That guy was supposed to be your DeMarcus Lawrence, your Cooper Kupp, right?
That guy puts you over the top. He's not the guy that is your best player.
He's not your core,
but he's the next.
He's the cherry on top.
Yeah, and hopefully he's going to be back here sooner rather than later. Dodgers are going to get Edwin Diaz back tonight. He's pretty good. So. Yeah.
They play the trumpets for him, you think, when he comes in?
Did the Dodgers do that, too?
You think they do? Think he carries that with him?
I don't know whether he did.
That was just a New York thing?
I honestly don't know the answer to that.
Well, let's hope we don't find out.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Speaking of DeMarcus Lawrence, Brock, he's back, and he explains why.
I was very close. Went through a long offseason of, going back and forth. Am I going to retire? Am I not? I think the one thing that held me steady is it's easy to take over a kingdom, but the hard part is when you got the kingdom and now it's time to defend it. Are you going to, sit back and eat the fruits of your labor, or are you going to, start preparing and building up your walls and, making sure everything is structurally prepared to defend it?
Should I be a little worried about that?
That he wasn't necessarily all in? Maybe.
1 foot in, 1 foot out, thinking about it, getting older.
See what it
Should
looks
I be a
like.
little in any worry
We
about
don't know
that?
when that decision was made, though. I mean, like, we talked to, who was it we talked to? His buddy.
Big boy.
Big Hank.
Yeah,
Jonathan Hankins, right?
Yeah.
That was ages ago.
The Spa Club
I think if he had decided
podcast.
today, like, a couple of weeks ago, that he wanted to come back, then I'd have some concern. But I don't know. I'm going to guess that was like immediately following the season.
That still really bothers Maura.
I know.
When we characterize that podcast.
That's what makes it fun.
Inaccurate. They were
Maura,
wearing like athletic gear,
Maura,
but it was just
what if we always told
cream colored.
Never let the facts get
And there
in the
was
way
some plants.
of a good story, Maura.
And you guys translated it to bathrobes
Yeah. In the spa.
in a spa.
That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. Some texters saying, well, Salk, you're just talking about a cutter. No, not a cut fastball. That breaks the other way. Cut fastball breaks glove side. I'm talking about a two-seamer, which breaks arm side, which runs. It doesn't cut. It runs. But it doesn't always sink. Some guys have a sinker. Some guys, like Luis, doesn't sink. It runs. Right? It really runs. In Bizzardo, it bores in on the hands of a right-handed hitter. They're brutal. And it sure sounds like listening to guys like Buhner and some of those guys, like it's that pitch, that two-seamer that drives them nuts, that they just hate. Because it's not just that you swing
So
and
is that
miss at it,
characterized
it's that
as
it
a
hurts.
is that characterized as a fastball?
Yes.
So like when the Mariners have struggles hitting the fastball.
It's a two-seam fastball.
It's a two-seam fastball,
Yeah.
also called a sinker.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know whether a cutter is still considered a fastball. I think it is. I think it's still considered a cut fastball.
Very confounding.
Well, I mean, it's just that you can take your fastball and manipulate it really 4 ways. You can throw the four-seamer, which is just straight fastball, which sometimes has the rising effect. You can throw a cutter, which moves just a little. That's the Mariano Rivera pitch. It moves just a little bit to the glove side right at the end. You can throw a two-seamer, which bores in on a righty from a righty.
Or goes from the hip to the inside of a lefty.
Yes, you see those sometimes. The front hip two-seamer. Or I see like an actual dropping sinker. Derek Lowe is the person I think of, but there have been a million others over the years who are getting ground ball after ground ball. I don't see as many of those anymore.
Very over the top guys.
Yeah, because you're looking for that drop down and low. All right, we've got trash takes coming up here in just a little bit.
I got a pretty good one, by the way.
You do?
I do.
I bet you don't.
I'm gonna stir it up
I
a
bet you
little bit. I'm
don't.
gonna stir it
I bet
up.
it's not a good one.
Angel Reese
Usually,
stir
when
it
you
up.
think it's a good one, it's
I'm
not
going
a
back
good
to the
one.
pot of Angel
So we will
Reese.
do that coming up in 20 after a review of another Seahawks blowout next on Brock and Salk.
Stick around for Bump and Stacy.
Trademark pending.
That's right.
Coming up next at 10.
I feel like I've solved a crime.
You did.
Wow.
Your defense, playing like trash, allowed the Seahawks to claw their way back into the game.
When I read about it and I start to break it down, it's about your overall team. And I think that's the way people have to look at it. Because there was nothing offensively that felt dominant.
Bump and Stacy next at 10 on Seattle Sports.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the Club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations. And save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ Way.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
We're all looking for ways to add extra income without adding extra hours. How about joining a credit union where your money earns money? Dave Wyman for Harborstone Credit Union. They have a money market special offering strong returns for your hard-earned money. Open yours at harborstone.com/moneymarket and start earning 3.75 annual percentage yield. The best part is you retain full access to your money the entire time. That's harborstone.com, insured by NCUA.
Compassion. Communication. Results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You enjoying this exercise, huh? Going through these Seahawks games one by one from last year and trying to remember what the heck happened in all of them. My memory's not great, so I started doing this last week, and we are on now to the 8th game of the season. It's week 9, coming off the bye, Brock.
You're not going to bring this up to Coach tomorrow, right?
That I'm going back and watching him?
Yeah, Coach, we're doing it's really cool.
I don't know if I would tell him that I'm, no. I mean, just no.
No,
for multiple reasons. One, I don't need him to know that my memory is so horrible.
Right.
And two, he's all about spinning forward, not looking at the back of the rearview mirror. I might ask a question about like things that we learned and the foreshadowing of it, though. That to me has been the most interesting part, is how much of the foreshadowing of what was to come you saw in the first half of the season. We are still in the first half. This is now into November 2nd, week 9, game 8. Seahawks play on Sunday Night Football on the road in Washington, D.C., and annihilate the Commanders.
I've always said, this exercise may make me edit something I've said to a lot of people over the last year. And I think you and I have even talked about this on and off the air. Like, when did he know? When did he know? Mm-hmm. And we all point to, us together up in the suite watching that Rams Thursday night.
That's not what I said.
Well, that's what I have always
said. That's what you've said. I have not said that.
That's what I have said.
Okay, but that's not what I
But I think I need to edit this, because watching the QB documentary, which, by the way, of the 3, this was the worst. And that's spoiler alert.
I'm sorry it's really bothering you.
No, it's done now. It's only 7 episodes, because I think they also realized, like, we've squeezed everything out of this we're going to get. Like, there's just nothing more. But watching that, the only cool thing was the Buccaneers game was front and center with Baker, and then this game was front and center. Because on the other side, Jaden had been beat up. He had a hamstring. He had a knee first and then the hamstring, but he was coming back. And this was going to salvage their season. Mm-hmm. This was the watershed crossroads moment for Washington last year. Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year, nearly to the Super Bowl. Dan Quinn, oh my gosh, new ownership. Wow. Here it is, Sunday Night Football, and we get the Seahawks coming to our place.
Didn't get off to a great start, already down 7-0. Seahawks dominate the first quarter. I think they had the ball for the first 9 minutes. And it's like 8:57 or something like that. They go all the way down, the first of 2 touchdowns from Torrey Horton. Of course, why wouldn't it be?
2nd down and goal now from the 4. This is the 12th play of the drive. Slot near side. Now White goes in motion left to right. Play fake. Darnold rolls left, looks, throws to the end zone. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks! Torrey Horton makes the catch. Now, was the interference? It was. I think it's going to be a hold, actually, on the defense.
It ended up being a touchdown. Good play.
Because, of course, Cody White is going to go in motion.
But we'll get to him.
And Torrey Horton's going to catch.
We'll get to Cody White a little bit later in this game, because he played a big role. But, yeah, we've talked about Torrey Horton coming back and what that can look like. He was really good last year. He had some real moments last year. He caught a lot of touchdowns. Was really good on special teams. Like, a pretty relevant piece of what they could do. And they just cruised right down the field. What did he say, 12th play of that drive? Mm-hmm. Sam ended up finishing this game 21 of 24 for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He's a problem.
He's kind of the problem.
National TV.
Yeah, he's a problem.
By the way,
he did have a pick in this game. It came after he'd thrown 4 touchdowns. And by the way, Jaden Daniels had a pick too, but it wasn't then. It was in the first quarter, beginning of the second, and they were down 7-0.
So 3rd down and 17 now, back at his own 45. McNichol stays in the backfield. Daniels with a shotgun snap. Blitz is coming. Daniels just wings it, and it comes down. It's picked off on the far sidelines. Did he keep his feet in? He did. It's Ty Okada reaching high. I think Daniels might have been trying to throw the ball away, and instead Okada intercepts it, and you can hear the cheers because there are so many Seahawks fans right behind the Seattle bench.
Yeah, that was a tremendous play.
He got way up for that ball.
Listen to those names: Cody White, Torrey Horton, Ty Okada.
I know.
I mean, come on.
Oh, you know who was their leading tackler in this game? Yesterday it was Shaquille Griffin, who was like 4th. Right. Who was the leading tackler in the Week 9 Game 8 game against Washington?
Was this the game that O'Connell played and was spit? No. Gosh.
That'd be Tyrese Knight. That guy had been benched.
Yeah,
no, I think it's because he came in late once they were up big. Yeah. But still, like Tyrese Knight, leading tackler. Defense, 4 sacks, 5 more tackles for a loss. That, to me, we talked about that during the year last year, the TFLs and how big those were. I'm going to stick with that again.
Absolutely.
Their ability to puncture and get into the backfield, it's so awesome. And Brock, there was another special teams play in this game. Do you remember who made their big special teams play?
Cody White did.
No, it was not. No?
Tariq.
Ball comes down on the goal line to Lane as he takes off straight up the middle. The ball comes out. Seahawks dive on it. I think they have it. And they do.
Peely.
The Seahawks recover the kickoff. Lane fumbles. Again, it's about 3/4 of a mile from us. It was tough to see if the Hawks fell on it, but they did. And Seattle, the entire special teams, jumping up and down in the far end zone. And Seattle now with 2 takeaways.
Connor O'Toole comes up with the
fumble recovery, and the offense comes right back out on the field.
Yeah, he came up with it, but yes, it was Brandon Peely who forced the fumble, the big nose tackle who wanted to play special teams.
Just crazy. I know we asked Mike about that afterwards, and he's like, yeah, that was Jay Harbaugh's idea. Like, just in the middle of it, he's capable of it. He stuck his big paw in there and made the play. By the way, yesterday, watching some of the highlights of practice, who was out there as a gunner. He's not going to be a gunner, but just getting reps and playing in the open field. Riley Mills was doing the same thing that Peely was doing there to kind of see, like, maybe he can be a guy on kickoff that's just so long and big and physical.
These
and
guys
everything
just
else.
understand the importance of it, and it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like
So
another
what was the
way to
score?
value add.
Was it 34-0 at one point?
In this game?
In this game.
28-0.
No, I think it keeps going because at least on the it was either 34.
They scored one, and it's 38-7.
It was 38-0. It was 38-0.
Yeah.
It was 38-0. Warren Sharp. 38-0.
Yeah. Well, Sam was a bit of a problem. And then also, as they've done, they got to the quarterback, Daniel
broke his
sacked.
elbow.
I mean, it was just nonstop. So that was this game. It was a really easy walkaway victory on national TV, right? On Sunday Night Football. It was Tirico and Collinsworth, and you kind of get that whole
But the story
scene.
was what? The story was Jaden Daniels just dislocated his elbow, and then Washington's done, and they go to the NFC title game.
Some of it was. But I don't know. I think that was a little bit of a wait. I would hope. Mike McDonald afterwards, Brock, a couple things I wanted to go back to. Because this one ended up being a big conversation. We were trying to figure, remember he used the word complementary football a lot.
Right.
And we're trying to figure out what that meant to him. Because I don't think it meant exactly what we thought it meant. We asked him about it after that win.
I think it's a few things. One, doing what you have to do to win the game. So sometimes defense is going to have to pick up the offense. Sometimes you're going to have to chuck it around the yard. Sometimes it's a grind it out, run it game. You're trying to get special teams to make a difference in the game and win that phase. So sometimes that's how it shows itself, and then times it's about like, there's a turnover, and now defense has to go step up, or defense has had a long drive, and now the offense has got to put something together, or end a 2-minute. We want to end the ball at the half, like because we want to double them up at the half. All those things, all those like little situations that show up in a game where if you feel like you kind of come out with the upper hand, it gives you an edge, kind of going into the next phase of the game. And if you keep stacking those things, ultimately, it puts you in a position to win games.
Mm-hmm. Whatever the game calls for. I think that messaging started to come after that and throughout the second half of the year. It's not like, we just compliment our offense and our defense. Like, we're going to play conservative on it. No, whatever the game calls for in that moment. And we get a chance to absolutely step on their throat in the first half and make it 28-0. We will step on their throat. We're not going to just play it safe and play conservative. And because our defense playing so well, let's not make a mistake. That is just not the way any of them are wired. Now, like you get to the Super Bowl or whatever, and Sam's in charge of how much risk he wants to take, but it wasn't as if like, let's just rope-a-dope this thing and get it to the fourth quarter. Let's play it safe. That's just not the way they do it. Whatever the game calls for, and wherever we can exploit matchups and wherever we can take apart an opponent, and that was once again taking apart an opponent like they took apart Arizona, like they took apart New Orleans. Again, I don't know why that Warren Sharp thing's bothering me, but it's bothering me.
Yeah, it should be. It's
because
annoying.
that guy is a smart guy, and he's a numbers guy. And much like Phil Steele, his counterpart on the college side, they do love to look for the regression to the mean. They love to look for, hey, man, these teams that win all these games by one score, all these fourth quarter games, or all of these comebacks, like that's not sustainable. That was not the 2025 Seattle Seahawks.
Not at all.
The only thing they sustained was their violence and their dominance to arguably have, from a points standpoint, the best season in this franchise's 50 years.
You mentioned some
scoring
of those
differential, What do you want to look at? Production, points score, points allowed. Like, they dominated fools, and that was a statement on Sunday night.
And it wasn't all from their stars. Again, it was the depth. It was the 70 strong. It was Cody White.
Ball at the 40-yard line of Seattle. Play fake to Walker. Darnold's going to roll. He's got his man. It's White. Breaks a tackle. Going down the far sidelines. He could go. He is in for a touchdown. Seahawks.
He did break a tackle, too. I mean, he lowered a shoulder.
Oh,
He's a big dude.
They show that, like, from a field view on this documentary, because they got Jaden on the bench, and he's just shaking his head like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, they were getting worked.
You don't get embarrassed in the NFL very often, especially when you've been to the NFC Championship game the season before, and you got a star core. Like, you don't get embarrassed.
I mean, you can say that, but tell that to last year's New Orleans Saints. Tell that to the Washington Commanders. Tell it to the Arizona Cardinals. Tell it to Tennessee. Tell it to Minnesota. Like, tell it to Atlanta.
Took them apart.
They all got embarrassed. Tell it to San Francisco in the playoffs, obviously. Like, tell it to the Patriots.
Took them apart.
They all got embarrassed.
Yep.
They all got embarrassed last year. Elijah Arroyo caught his first touchdown pass in this game.
Route, yeah.
So, it was a good one. We asked Mike afterwards why he had called it a great win.
I think, our vision of all three phases playing together, playing complementary football, it felt like, like the guy – I love how our guys are preparing, our mentality going into the games. When we took the lead, like the guys weren't satisfied. They wanted to keep stacking scores and plays, and I was just really pleased with our mentality throughout the whole game. And look, I mean, we had some adversity with some guys go down, and guys had to step up, and guys did that. So obviously, Sam played an incredible, near perfect game, especially in the first half. And anytime your quarterback is playing like that, I mean, you got a heck of a chance to do some pretty cool stuff.
Blow the doors off people. That's what they did, and ended Washington's season right there. I mean, just ended that. That team was right on the precipice of playing in the Super Bowl the year before.
Yeah,
that was a team that everybody. Gosh,
I can't imagine somebody like going to Vegas and throwing a little money on them to win the Super Bowl. Like, that would have been horrible. Nobody would have done that. Nobody would have done that in July of last year. That just would have been a ridiculous thing to do. So Seahawks dominate. They get that win. That's just their what is they at that point 6-2 after 8 games and getting ready for a home game against the mighty Arizona Cardinals. What would happen the following week? Yes. Would they have the strength, the ability to beat those mighty Cardinals? Well, I guess you'll have to tune in tomorrow. Not at 9:30. We'll have to do it a little early tomorrow because we will have Mike McDonald with us at 9:30 tomorrow. And I don't think he wants to go over that Cardinals game. I think he'd like to look forward and not look back at
windshield
a 38-14
windshield guy.
Yeah.
We can be rear view. We can be rear view. Sure. He's a windshield guy.
Well, this is a celebration.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go get the trash hat. We haven't worn this.
No, I'm not wearing that.
Well, I will.
No, you're not. Now you're going to look ridiculous. Don't go get... The only reason you should wear the trash hat is because you're so bad at picking trash takes. Because every single week you try to come up with a trash take, it's worse than the one from the week before. You're terrible at it. Most of your takes aren't even trash. If anything, I listen to them and I'm like, well, that makes some sense. Yeah, of course they said that. Who's going to disagree with that? We'll see if Brock can do any better this week as we offer another edition of Trash Takes.
Get it together. Don't look like trash.
Trash Takes.
It's a bunch of trash.
Oh, gosh.
I thought it was trash.
On Brock and Salk.
That's a terrible take.
Stay trashy, Brock. It says stay trashy.
He does look better in that hat than you do.
No kidding. He looks better in everything.
So there was a grandmother in Alaska who put.
Oh, you mean the 6'5" good-looking blonde quarterback looks better in it than I do?
6'5".
No.
Alaskan woman put this hat together.
I know.
She stitched these patches
all on there. It does say
here.
Salk's trash hat on the side.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. All right, Trash Takes, Brock. You're getting us started today.
Good.
What do you got?
I'm audibling.
Oh,
okay,
really?
I had a WNBA take.
You're going to not go down that road?
I had a WNBA take. I'm not doing it. I'm audibling.
All right.
Easy. Round 24, okay. I'm audibling.
Yeah.
And you're going to play cut 18.
I am?
Or cut 19, because I'm so pissed about this still. You're going to play cut 19.
All right, I got it.
Yeah, you are right now.
I think this is a fringe team on that playoff discussion. I think that they are a team that very well could be very successful, but that still means they're only winning 9-ish or so games. And whether or not they get into the playoffs or not, and nobody wants to play a team with a defense as competent as Mike McDonald's defense in the postseason. But the question mark becomes, don't forget, Sam Darnold led the NFL in turnovers last year. He had 20 turnovers. Nobody had more turnovers than Sam Darnold. He was a problem last season until they corrected it into the playoffs.
If you're in the car, dads, moms, with your kids, cover their ears right now. Okay, cover their ears. As you're heading to Wild Ways, RIP, at the end of the year, that pisses me off. Like, the more we talked about that in just the last 15 minutes, like, that really, because Warren is a smart guy, and I've used his stuff a lot. But, Warren, you've really ticked me off.
He's jumped the shark?
That trash.
It is pretty trash saying Sam Darnold was a problem last year. Like, dude,
so he had 60 touchdowns. Mora looked it up. I think there were 7 QBs the last 2 years. They're all the best.
And he did have too many
Stafford
turnovers.
And Lamar and Burrow.
He did have too many turnovers.
Sure.
It was a problem. That was a problem.
But you know, the other side of that, and Mike would say it, like, you want to throw 60 touchdowns?
Right.
This dude's...
And when did they come?
And how did he respond when he threw 4 picks?
Right. To me, he had 2 really bad interceptions that really hurt them. Maybe 3. But, like, the fumble at the end of the first game of the season, the interception that lost them the Tampa game, like, those ones really hurt. Those ones were problems.
But when he threw 4 against the Rams and he responds,
when he throws 4 touchdowns against Washington, and okay, yeah, there was a pick thrown in there, but like they were up 38-0.
Warren,
Who
it's
cares?
Trashy.
That's where numbers can lie. That's where numbers can
technically, I found that take, but sure.
Thank you, Maura.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow. Maura just cut you down, cut you like a knife. Don't steal my stuff. Don't steal my stuff. All right, Maura, what do you got? The reigning champ, of course.
All right, I'm going to go with someone we haven't had on here before. You said you know him. Jason McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. We've had him on the show.
From the Cowherd Show.
Sure. Yep.
He had Mark Schlereth on, and he was asking him, he was basically trying to defend Justin Herbert, but I don't like what he does to Keenan Allen here in the process.
Oh, yeah.
I compared Herbert to Matt Stafford as a guy with a big arm, mobile, really great quarterback. He just can't get over the hump because his team always lets him down, whether it's both tackles are gone. You know, never had like a superstar receiver. Keenan Allen was like their best receiver. He's been cut by half the league. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? And I don't know. I kind of think Herbert is an undervalued asset. Stafford goes to the Rams, and now, Stafford, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, top 10.
Keenan Allen has never been cut.
Yeah.
And he's played for 2 teams. What do you mean been cut by half the league? And he's been there since 2020, minus the 1 year that he went to Chicago. And he's had a 1,200-yard season, a 1,000-yard season, a 992-yard season, and his worst ones were well over 700 yards.
Yeah. If you know me, you know I love me some Keenan Allen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know you.
He's one of my favorite receivers in the league. I root for that guy. He's fun.
But been cut by every team in the league? Do your research. What are you talking
only
about?
half more. He's only been cut by half. The other half didn't want him.
He hasn't even been cut by anyone.
All right, fine.
He's on the streets right now, though, isn't he? I think he's finally. He couldn't run last year. He's
old.
He's old.
Yeah. All right. Question number 3 would be Ian. You have a trash take?
I do have a trash take. This is an answer to a question from Marvin Harrison Jr., who caught 4 touchdown passes last year, asking about his attitude and if he's kind of learning anything going into year 3.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you want me to play. Here we go.
Kind of picked up, I want to say like in December, but before that point, it seemed like you were kind of finding your stride. Are you able to take some comfort in kind of some of the stuff you did put on tape? I'm thinking about the Dallas game, some other moments kind of that around that time of year. Does that kind of, did that comfort you at all in the off, going into the offseason?
Comfort me, no. Personally, I just never really look at any positives. I mean, you probably should. For your health, but I don't really look at many positives. It's always kind of the negatives. So, I mean, I don't really think about the Dallas game much or any other kind of games before. Just always what to improve on.
Improvement is good. This guy's not Kobe. Like, you gotta try and figure out some good things that you've done this past year and lean into those things. Right now, if he was supposed to be the deep ball like threat, the high ball catcher, is that what he's leaning into? It doesn't really seem like it. He's just kind of in no man's land right now.
All right. 3 takes, Brock, Mora, and Ian. Interesting challenge this week. I think I've got a winner.
Okay.
Ian, yeah, I don't know, man. Sorry. Like, I agree with him on that. Like, That's just the way he's wired.
That's the way Salk's wired, Ian. You got to understand.
He's wired to
Does
look
Salk
at
ever
the
look at our positive ratings?
Fine.
No. Does he look at the clock integrity he lacks quite daily? Yes. He's only about the negatives.
I don't know whether there's anything wrong with him
Cecily, you're going to put on the ankle weights, and you're going to go run green light.
Exactly.
And I'm going to get a sled eventually, and you're going to pull me.
For the right person, looking at the positives is the right thing to do. That's how he motivates himself. I don't see that in the same way you do.
Fair.
More, Jason McIntyre's wrong about Keenan Allen. And I think I disagree with him on Justin Herbert.
Clearly just didn't even do the research.
Right.
I think what he was trying to say is that nobody wants Keenan Allen. He's not elite. And the comparison of Herbert to Stafford is at least a fair question. I don't know if I agree with him, but it's a fair question. For years, we said the same thing about
Josh
Stafford.
Allen had at receiver since Diggs left. Tom Brady had Troy Brown and David Patton his first Super Bowl. I just don't like that he's defending Herbert with those excuses either. I think Herbert's had plenty of time to prove
How do you and
himself.
Chris argue at home?
I'm sure they never do.
No.
You never do you?
Never.
No.
Chris is smart. Of course. He's like, I'm not getting involved with that. No thanks. I'm good. You're right, Mara. Absolutely. Whatever you say. Yes, I don't know. To me, that was a wrong take more than a trash take. So I'm not. I get your. In a normal week,
He's a Hall of Fame receiver. Yes, he's washed up now, but Herbert's had him since 2020.
That's a good point. You're right about all that.
All right.
But it's not as bad a take as Warren Sharp's.
Thank you.
Warren Sharp's real. I'm with Brock. Pissed me off.
I know. That's why I rolled it in and put it on the show today.
Mara is not happy about not winning trash takes.
I mean, he had another one that he had me save.
This is the most competitive I've ever heard
She
you.
likes to point her long finger at me. You're so competitive.
She's pointing. I would say that finger is wrapping back around it herself because
Maybe it was all that I've won 3 of 4. I've won 4 of 5. I'm such a.
God, this really brings out the worst in both of you.
She wants to keep the streak alive, it sounds like.
Ian, pipe down. You did terribly this week. Yours was awful. Yours wasn't even a trash take. You're worse than Lyle at this right now. It's terrible. More. Brock, you win. It must be because of that. I didn't want you to win because of the hat, but you win. That was
I don't know what you're doing with that bucket hat now.
Now I gotta listen.
Now you look like the skipper. You look like Gilligan.
All right, that's fine. Brock did bring us coffee today. Congrats.
Sure, that was nice. Thank you for the. Thank you for
yes,
the.
thank you. And donuts.
For my tea.
You're welcome.
For my London fog latte.
You ready to watch a little football on pads tomorrow? You ready for me to drag you over to watch one-on-one?
No, I'm not ready for that.
You ready to look at the...
We're going to be inside, though, for the show, right?
No.
Yes, we are. There's no... What? The practice doesn't start till we're done.
Yeah, we'll be inside.
Thank God.
But then we work our way
Yeah, that's
out.
fine. But I'm not sitting out there in the freezing cold.
You're so soft.
There you go, looking at the positives again.
I knew that would get you. I knew that would get you. Brock loves when I complain about the cold at the VMAC early in the morning. All right, Mike McDonald, though, will join the show tomorrow at 9:30, and I'm fascinated to see whether the Mariners can reverse mulligan this thing again tonight. We'll be back at 6 a.m. Bump and Stacy up next. Till tomorrow, the hay
is in the barn.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Stick around for Bump and Stacy.
Trademark pending. That's right.
Coming up next at 10.
I feel like I'd solved a crime.
You did.
Wow.
Your defense, slaying like trash, allowed the Seahawks to claw their way back into the game.
When I read about it and I start to break it down, it's about your overall team. And I think that's the way people have to look at it, because there was nothing offensively that felt dominant.
Bump and Stacy next at 10 on Seattle Sports.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
These days, everyday savings add up. Get more for your restaurant, food truck, or big event at Chef Store with warehouse savings on the food and supplies you use most. No membership required. Plus, we're open to the public. Visit Chef Store today.
Every job's different. So why not your equipment plan? Rent it when you need it. Buy it when you're ready. Levitt Machinery makes it easy to get to work. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number